Okay.
So it's not after after like someone pointed out to you. It's after it happens.
But it's what? Yes.
Hi, stream.
But
Hello,
hi.
stream.
Hi, that camera. Hi.
Welcome to Maxed and Doubled, episode 6.
See? Accident doubled right here. And above me.
Yes.
All over,
God.
it's all over me.
Over
Wow,
there.
come on.
That's
man.
so
Ow,
weird.
Ow! Get your hand out of my face.
We don't have Josh today, unfortunately, because he's a dick. And he ended his friggin' work holiday on a Thursday of all days.
He was run over by a giant sandwich.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
He
he
just got
survived.
thrown
So-
completely under that BLT.
he survived. But he will be back next week, I think. At least as far as I'm aware. I don't even know if he's aware if he's coming back next week. But regardless, we don't have him this week. One of these guys will be playing Sylkas for him.
Shutting up.
Apparently, Michael, you are the resident I will play other people's character.
I'll finally figure out what class he is.
Well, to be fair, Michael's
No.
the only one we can actually trust with our character sheets. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
I think that's pretty true. But yeah, I don't think we have any other announcements at the moment. So, shall we get into it? Also, Hannah's audio might be fucking better for once. We've done some even more fiddling and decided that we have something decent, we think. Hopefully,
Let
it's
us know.
bearable. Also, she's louder for us now, which means we'll more easily hear her rather than talking directly over her, hopefully.
Yay.
And
6
just so
more
you're all
months.
aware, next stream is a casual stream. So basically just wear whatever you want. You don't have to get dressed up like you normally do.
Yeah, casual Saturdays. Not every Saturday, apparently. Our audio techs have just come in to make sure all the audio is correct. So hopefully it is. But
Do you need me to sit here talking for a minute?
no, it's all right.
Yes, we do.
Without further ado,
Oh man, I showed up just for the adieu, and now you're telling me there's no more? I might as well leave. Get into the set.
previously
How
on
are you sitting?
Uncomfortably.
Maxed and
No,
Doubled.
actually, I'm quite comfortable.
I just see this knee. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's actually Oscar's
Sorry.
knee.
It's my knee. I've got one knee over with Michael. It's not quite reaching over the table, and the other knee's over with Glenn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be more
Anyway,
believable if it was your foot, but you know.
previously on Maxed and Doubled, a party having headed out of Chimeria and encountering one of the umbral relay towers that heads out in the direction of Fredatowne out east and out towards the eastern tract. Had a bit of a discovery as the umbral network seemed to lose connection to it for a bit. Headed up the tower, fixed at least to some degree the relay that was smashed and no longer sending Umbra to the east, as two other members of the party ran back along the path they came, attempted to capture the perpetrator of this crime and brought him back to the tower itself to be interrogated by Laurelin, the monitor there at the tower, who was designated with the task of ensuring the umbral connection was always active. Unfortunately, he cast some sort of spell and killed himself before any of the interrogation was able to go forward,
And before I had a chance to kill him.
and before Archibald had a chance to murder him. But the party moved on, found Fredatowne in their quest to cure Sulfur of her magically imposed disease, and eventually located Korma, the friend of Fenrir, as they were referred to her, who discussed the possibility of creating, through alchemical means, a remedy of some sort that would bring Sulfur back to her full strength.
That's right, we needed the blue flower with the red thorns.
Yes, exactly right.
And dead people grease.
Also correct. After their conversation, their deliberating conversation about which direction they were going to go and what ingredients they needed to get first, the party decided to go for the kobolds that they'd previously encountered in their trip and attempt to grab the hides from them so that they can be used for the second ingredient, the kobold hide grease. And that, early morning about, is where we left off. Now, what would you all like to do?
So I guess we're gonna load up onto our cart and head off again. That seem about right.
Tea. I make him tea. During all that, I make him tea.
He has already had a...
Yeah, but he sounds
Negative.
like shit. I'm making him tea.
That's true. It's like...
I had a delicious non-medicated breakfast.
Yes, exactly. Well, you don't have any tea on you right now. Sorry, you're standing just outside the door. Of
Fine, I'm gonna make him
Korma's
That,
hall.
that, that's a
leap.
straight up lie. She's got a mortar and pestle, a water,
It'll be
water
cold
bottle
tea.
and
Like
And
ice
two
tea.
wizards.
yeah,
Two wizards. Yeah.
like she's got all the ingredients for a tea.
But
She
she
just has to
doesn't have
ask
tea.
nicely. No, she would have brought that with her, knowing how much of a lush she is.
What did you say you were doing, Zariel?
I can make him an iced version of the tea. It just won't be as effective because it's cold.
What are you using to hold this tea as you make it to hand it to?
He has
John?
a tankard. I'm
He
gonna tip
does?
his booze out and fill.
You're not
Okay.
gonna tip my
Tea.
booze out.
At this point, you find out it's
Yes,
an
I am.
infinite tankard.
Yeah, we just keep going.
It was a really good visual gag in Good Omens. I'm not going to spoil the entire thing, but one of the characters just walks in with this tiny jug of holy water, and she just starts pouring it, and keeps pouring it, and keeps pouring it, fills up an entire bathtub with this tiny bottle. It's great. Gave me real D&D vibes.
Yeah, yeah. So, you wanted to head back up the northwest, back down the path that you came. I forgot to add the Fredatowne map to the thing again. So sorry everyone, but you don't get another Fredatowne map. Head to my Twitter account or Max Altitude's Twitter account as well, and you'll find the Fredatowne map, and you can bring that up while we go here.
Do
But
you reckon there's a conveniently placed link in the chat for them to click on to find that?
potentially, it's probably a good thing.
Anna's usually on ball. It'll be.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
It's like maybe if we have a look here.
somewhere over there, past Glenn, past all of that. If I do that, I'm gonna end up on Michael's camera, which is really weird. Anyway, so you.
What I really want is one day for me to be able to go like this and a hand like appears on Michael.
That would be nice.
You should
But-
ask Michael first.
Yeah.
I'm just
Hold on,
gonna like
wait.
touch his hair.
So your horses and cart were stabled back at the full tankard.
Yep.
The inn that you were previously at. You're gonna head back there now.
Yep.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You retrieve the horses and cart, and you begin on your journey back to the northwest. It is about a day's travel
Okay.
to where
Yep.
you left the kobolds. A little bit less than. You'll reach
Yep.
it probably as the sun's starting to get low.
Pile all the bodies on the cart.
I
All
mean,
right.
Are they all still there?
they're still there.
So.
If they're still there.
You're setting what, a medium pace to get there in decent time?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in the back?
Yep.
Cyril and John both on the front, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on the front as well.
Okay. And Sulfur slinking out to the side, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Sylkas will also jump in the back with you, Archibald.
Oh, I was going to make a joke about Sylkas, but alright. Take my thunder.
Yeah.
Didn't
that's-
even want to make that
We want
joke.
him
It
to
was a good
lose
one.
that rich boy weight. He can run behind the cart.
Well, he didn't look so great after breakfast, so I'm not sure we should have brought him along. He
I-
might have been a
maybe-
liability, but I mean,
He's going to leave a trail behind the cart.
ew.
So,
Ew.
Like a snail.
That's him.
so, well, let's see here. You make the distance in pretty good time. This is all plains area, so it's nice and open. You've got visibility for quite a long way, a few miles at least.
Yeah.
And you can see umbral relay, at least the fainter than normal, but you can see the umbral beam going overhead as you move. You
Sorry.
eventually reach the spot where you remember you pulled off into the long grass
Yeah.
to set your camp. You see the boulder there, and you pull the cart into that area. The bodies themselves,
He's
some
gonna
are
say be
missing.
gone.
You find a couple bloodstains where there used to be some. Some are missing.
Did we
I'm
find
gonna
cobalt grease?
We'll see, won't we? Whoops. I can't roll, apparently. I'm like Josh today. Okay.
Yeah, we find all of them.
A couple are missing, including the goblin that was there with them.
Yeah. Who wants a goblin grease?
There are 2 kobolds that are remaining. They're eating away at. The hides are not in very good condition anymore, but they are there. And you could potentially salvage something from them. Who would like to try? Are you just going to pile them all onto the cart and go? You do have a day's travel.
I will try to do it.
You're going to try and skin them?
Yeah.
Just check them straight
Okay.
in the bag of holding.
Sorry, I know that was rustling.
Oh yeah,
but I
what
made
else
my
is in the
finger
bag of
bleed.
holding at the moment?
Roll.
I made my finger bleed.
Oh no.
Roll a medicine check. Yeah, roll a medicine
The
check.
medicine?
No, roll a
Wouldn't it
survival
be
check.
so-
Roll a
I was
survival
gonna say,
check.
wouldn't it be survival
Yeah.
because
Roll a survival check.
skinning animals?
15 gold pieces.
19.
They can get stinky.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
Sariel goes at it with these kobolds, and you kind of stand back and watch. It's disgusting to watch, especially with these already kind of beginning to decompose bodies that are there. But she uses her obviously well-practiced skills and begins to skin them.
I almost immediately turn away.
It's really not pleasant at
don't
all.
need to see this. I've already exploded one man's head and seen what makes him tick. I don't need to see like kobolds insides. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's very
I'm fine.
unpleasant.
Yeah.
But despite the partially eaten away hides and the fact that it is beginning to decompose, you do manage to salvage a decent amount of both of their hides. And you are able to stash that. Where are you putting that in the bag of holding, or are you putting that in the back of the cart? Where are you going to leave that?
We're gonna put it in the bag of holding because back of the cart's mine.
Seems like a
What
decent
is it?
enough plan.
Okay.
I was actually going for not putting it in the bag of holding because, decomposing, kind of rotting skins.
Would you prefer to be able to smell the decomposing, rotting skins, or
I'm not
have
going to be in the
them
back of the
just
cart, so.
sit- Oh, I'm putting them in the bag of holding because I
Okay.
have to be in the back of the cart, and I prefer to jettison them into the ethereal plane as we travel.
Okay. Well, you do. You stuff them into the bag of holding.
She
Silently,
stuffs
a
them
maintenance person back in bag holdings vaults
Yep.
screams, but you don't hear this.
in. Oh God!
Just.
What have we told you about peaking the audio, Oscar?
I'm sorry. I'm so
It's
high
fun
pitched.
and do it so much.
I'm very high pitched. And then you begin your. Are you going to camp here, or are you going to push through? The
I
night?
mean, what do you reckon, guys? If we camp here, there's a chance we can get more of them.
I mean, I feel like there's probably quite a lot of cobbled grease, even what we already have. Like, how much grease could you need?
Well, I was just thinking of saving the other people that could be afflicted. So,
That is a decent
we-
point, yeah.
if we are going to be following pestilence, do we not want to have some of this
That's a pretty
stuff
good
with
point.
us?
Yeah. But,
Because I'm sure she could show us how to apply it.
well, presumably we're not going to be following pestilence once we've helped Sulfur, seeing as, I mean, we do have kind of other places to be, other things
True.
to pursue.
But that's not saying that we're not going to run past other people that have been hurt by it.
I don't object too much to.
I also don't like the idea of working the horses in the dark.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, I suppose it'll be pretty dark as we go through. All right.
The bite marks on the kobolds from what's been eating away at them, are they big bite marks or are they birds?
Make an investigation check.
And
the
if
source
they
of-
are beaks, I'm going to look for claws. Not that I've got any reason to, but I don't trust you.
the source of some of it is
Great!
The source of some of it is obvious to you, as before you looked away, you could see some maggots, some small things that were eating away at it. For the most part, the actual destruction of the hives is... There are no large, torn-out areas, but you don't really garner that much information from looking at it. Yeah, you kind of go look at it for a bit, and you're like, "Ugh," and just stuff it in the bag.
Oh, I'm not looking at... yeah, alright.
So are we going to camp here again tonight? Be vigilant.
Yeah, seems like a decent spot.
What do you think, Sylkas?
Oh, I think it's as good a spot as any.
You alright, Sylkas? You sound different.
I think I've got a cold.
We should have left you back in Fredatowne, right?
Could have
Yeah.
had some nice.
Probably
warm
would have
soup
been a good
to keep
idea.
you in your good health.
Oh well, we've got you now.
Yeah.
You're stuck with me, unfortunately.
You're going to be good to fight if we need to?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I just don't want you sneezing and blowing half of us up.
Upside, if he sneezes and one of them gets away, he could infect an entire village.
Then how does that make him better than Pestilence?
He can cast spells
Because
as
they're
well.
very annoying creatures.
Sylkas gets very kind of. He's just like looking. He's just like, okay, and looks at his cane, opens up a bit, turns away from you, and just like. But you're all setting camp here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice of you to volunteer to take first watch, Sylkas.
He does, in fact, and he offers to take the full 8 hours.
Oh, that's nice of you.
I do not accept because
I mean,
I don't know how trance works, but I don't want to leave him up for 8 hours.
we're Hold on. Do I? Just want to know whether John knows how trance works.
Roll a. I'm gonna say this is a history check.
16.
16. Yeah, you have a pretty rough idea of how. Of how. Is it only high elves or all elves?
All else.
It's all
All
elves.
elves.
Oh,
Yeah, you
Can
have
I
a
do
pretty.
that then?
Yeah.
You can't, but your father could.
What?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So you are aware of the practice.
I mean, as long as he doesn't get so bored that he falls asleep, like you're gonna be right with exhaustion anyway, right? It's trance.
Oh no, it's not a problem.
Okay, good. I don't know.
I don't trust this.
It might be worth doing a double watch, given that we're practically expecting to be attacked tonight.
No, this is Hannah. I don't trust this.
I mean, no, it's probably a good idea. Who wants to watch with me?
I'll join you for first watch,
Okay.
and I presume perhaps also fourth watch, depending on whether we're spending the extra time on this.
Oh, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to be up writing my notes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyone else?
I'll take second.
I'll
Okay.
take third.
Okay. So, as you two try to get some sleep, John and Sylkas, if you would like to roll for both of you, one each perception rolls. As you're out here, once again, you're in the familiar plains area, staying the night.
That's pretty good. That's
Sylkas' perception, I believe, is +2.
okay.
I don't believe that.
It's +2 or is it +3? What's yours?
19.
Mine's +3, but
No,
his is
I'll-
different.
His was also upside down. Perception is
Also +3.
Okay, so that's a 8 for him and a 19 for me.
Okay, So Sylkas immediately gets down to being completely distracted by his notes, and you hear the entire time his quill scratching on the paper. But you kind of be a little bit annoyed at this, make it your duty to do as best you can in this watch. And you scan the environment. It's very easy to scan up and down different distances. The moonlight at the moment's just barely peeking through some pretty dark clouds that have been gathering for the last couple of days. But you still have a pretty clear view of everything around you. Nothing eventful happens. You're still not quite accustomed to that whistling wind through the grass and the occasional louder noise of some nocturnal animals scurrying around, but for the most part, nothing particularly notable happens.
Come back around the rock and here. It's been a while since I last checked up on my incantations. I might have another read through and just brush up a bit.
He's just talking to himself constantly.
It's sounding better at least.
As you head to bed, Sylkas kind of realizes that you're going to sleep and takes it upon himself and walks over and wakes Sariel up. He kind of pokes you with his cane a little bit and says, and like lifts your arm a little bit and like, Sariel.
So, getting prodded by something is not how I'm used to being woken up. So I'm going to spring into action, like full on grab the bow, knock an arrow, and like aim it at him.
He like almost drops his cane, but manages to hold onto it and then puts his hand up and, I'm sorry. It's your turn for watch. John's just gone to bed.
Okay.
And he goes straight back to scratching his quill on the paper.
I'm going to take his book.
No. Sariel.
No.
Pay attention. You can have it back when I go to bed.
I'm not happy with that.
I know. But you're putting us in danger.
Fair enough. And I would let you, and I will roll for Sylkas, to roll perception checks. You can do it with advantage because you've got sulfur helping you.
Oh, yeah, okay. 17.
Nice. Sylkas rolled a natural 17 for a total of dirty 20. Which obviously was entirely on you, taking his book away from him. But the two of you set watch. You go the full, would be, I'd say 3 hours, I guess. And you encounter nothing notable during your watch. Eventually, Sylkas walks over, noticing the time, and goes to wake Archibald and kind of gestures for you to go to sleep. But he kind of prods you awake and then walks back over to you, Sariel, and says, "Can I have my book now, please?"
I'll give him his book back.
He takes it.
But I'm going to do it really slowly so Archibald kind of hopefully notices what I'm doing.
I don't have dark vision.
I would assume we were standing kind of close to you and he just woke you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I keep an eye on it.
So, you wake up and begin your watch. Sariel goes to sleep with sulfur. Make a perception check for me. Sylkas is going into trance now. So he's rolling with disadvantage.
Okay. 18.
Okay. Wow, you all rolled really well, didn't you? Holy shit.
Yeah. Get wrecked, son.
So,
Our
beginning your
eyes
final
are open.
watch.
You
Is there
can't
anything you're
send
doing
kobolds
during
to
your watch?
attack us.
Well, I'm hearing the quill scratching and I'm like trying to look over his shoulder. Not all that hard. I'm just like making sure that.
Oh, he's in trance now, so he's
Yeah.
no longer
Oh, okay.
scratching his quill.
Well, he's trancing. I'm just keeping my ears and eyes open, and I'm just thinking real hard,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
trying to uncover any memories.
Okay. You do so.
Oh,
You don't really get anywhere, unfortunately.
Sorry for
Not this
background
time.
sound.
That's okay. Unfortunately, you don't really get anywhere. But eventually, the sky starts to lighten a little bit. You can see as the sun just starts to peak above the horizon, and people start to wake up. Sariel, once again, you wake first. Everyone can gain a long rest in case that's something that you needed.
It's always good for wizards to have long rests.
It is always good. Make sure you got those hit dice. There's all 2 of those hit dice.
Roll them with them hit dice.
Hey, those 2 hit dice could save his life.
That certainly could. Certainly could.
Already have.
I'm gonna make John his tea.
Yep. You once again awaken to the aroma held under your nose of a steaming cup of tea.
I like to think that it smells like Barocca. You know that kind of horribly orange kind of smell?
Yeah.
Horribly orange kind of smell.
Well, it's a really fake orange smell.
Oh, okay.
It's not real oranges.
See, I just thought of the colour. I didn't even think of the fruit.
Why meant the fruit? Have you never
It's
had
got a
Barocca?
really yellow smell.
It tastes. It smells very pink.
Glenn,
Yeah.
have you never had a Barocca?
Can't say I have. I'm far too
Okay, so
healthy
it's
for
like
that.
it's like a fizzy thing that you put in, and it's supposed to like
I know what it is.
give you energy.
I just did.
They
I
taste gross.
Yeah, my brain's not working today.
It
so
probably
it's fine.
tastes like my vitamin C tablets, which literally just smell like a very freshly peeled orange.
If you put the vitamin C tablet and add dissolvable Panadol to that taste,
I don't think Glenn knows what that is either. I don't know what that is. Anyway.
it kind of tastes like baking soda and water
I know what that tastes
Yeah,
like.
and a vitamin C tablet.
Yeah, no,
to that.
not good. Not
Oh
good.
no, I just know baking soda and vinegar.
Anyway, so you all
I
awaken.
feel like the vinegar would overwhelm the flavour of that.
Oh,
John,
it did.
Your
Not a tasty volcano.
hangover is once again punched into submission by this very strong tea that Zariel has made for you.
Thank you. Sorry, that's
I like it better when he enunciates and doesn't go. "Huh."
You
very nice.
you remember thinking back to your encounter with Korma. You remember that she also advised you that the thistle leaves, the third ingredient that she gave you, were the thistle plants themselves were located around this area on the other side of the main path from where you are.
Yeah.
So you are currently a little bit further south of the actual main path, kind of near where the silver rainforest ends.
Yeah.
And instead of being south, if you were to go north, that's where Korma directed you for the thistles.
Yeah.
So
if we cross the road,
if you cross the road, head into that plains area up north, that's where you'll find them.
I vote we leave Sylkas with the cart
Sounds like a plan.
and go look for the thistles.
I'm gonna have a quick look at the cart, just like seeing how the basically how the wheels are attached and whether it's the sort of thing where you could like pop out a pin and then put one of the wheels in the bag of holding, so we wouldn't need to leave one of us behind with the
That's
cart every
actually
time.
really smart.
You kind of look at the bag of holding that Archibald's got
Just
right
like,
now, and you
How
look at the
stretchy is
cartwheel,
the opening.
and you're like, nah, I don't think that's going to work.
Just take out like every second spoke except for one where we take out 3 in a row.
Well, he's got mending, so it's not like he can't fix the wheels.
Oh damn!
That's a good idea.
So, in saying that, anyone coming along could still steal our rations, Sylkas's pillow, and the horses. Which is why I think we
I
leave
can't
Sylkas.
put the
Because he's sick anyway and probably needs
I
to
can't
rest.
put the horses in the bag of holding. I feel like they would die.
Yeah, that's
I think you
probably
could put
a bad
everything else,
idea.
but
So
then we
like,
take the
Let's go
horses
back
with
to
us and disable
Fredatowne.
the
How
cart.
much time is this horse and cart really saving us?
quite a lot, actually.
Okay, Sylkas, stay here.
Okay, so I think we should put rations and everything into the bag of holding, or we should put the kobold skins in the bag of holding.
Kobold skins are in the bag of
I
holding.
don't think we should have both of them in the bag of holding at once,
Why not?
because I don't want to eat kobold skin tasty rations.
Well, if
They
they
don't
were going to
interconnect,
get
though.
over everything in the bag of holding, then I reach in and I pull out some of the gold. It's not covered in kobold, is it?
Pardon me.
It's not covered in
Perception
kobold.
to see how much the gold smells like kobold.
you inspect it, and it's there's a little bit of like
I pressed
blood.
it away.
And, yeah,
It's fine. You see?
you did see this.
I wasn't hiding it.
I mean, if we put the rations in the sack, the rations themselves won't be contaminated.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So I
But
guess.
we will tie up that sack, like it'll be unopenable until we pull it back out.
Yeah, that seems like a decent plan.
Right, so I'm going to sew with a big ass bit of rope the because I don't have any thread, the top of the sack shut.
Okay. All right.
But-
Make a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay. This is not going to be good. I don't think I'm good at those.
Why don't we just put the kobolds in the sack and then put them in the bag? We wouldn't have to. worry about
Natural
the rations.
20.
Very nice.
Which I had to pick up to look at because it was on my keyless dice and I couldn't
You
see it.
vacuum seal it.
Yeah, yeah. This is airtight.
Airtight Hessian sack.
I'm
Yeah.
going to, before I put it in the bag of holding, I'm going to show it to John for inspection of, does he think this is good enough to keep the kobold yuckies off?
Yep. Yeah, that looks like you did an excellent job. Well done. This should do great.
Cool. So we'll put that in the bag of holding.
Okay. And you do so.
I have a new existential question,
Yes.
and it involves the mending spell again.
That's always a good thing.
You know how we've basically flayed a kobold and put it in the bag of holding?
Yeah,
That skin is now an object, right?
it is. You could not make a kobold out of the object.
No, but could he mend the...
Could I mend
Hides.
the skin so it's like perfectly intact?
I mean, I think that wouldn't increase the amount of skin we'd have.
You can certainly try.
I don't need an answer for it. I just want chat to fight about it.
All
like,
right.
Like I imagine it would kind of like sew the holes shut magically rather than actually filling them up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's right. Like, you'd have a really weirdly shaped kobold skin rather than a perfectly pristine skin. And even if it did create the skin, I don't think we would have more grease.
Wasn't trying to get more grease, it's just trying to keep the blood off things.
Fair enough.
So,
Do you know how skinning something works?
I can't say I've ever done it.
So
it's really quite
you're
gruesome.
gonna have blood on the inside of the skin until you tan it.
Yeah, I know, but if
Even a complete skin would have ickies under it.
yeah, that's fine, but it wouldn't be like if I've got a backpack, I can zip it up, and the insides won't fall out.
So you're meaning like if we rolled them up and tied them?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, now I get where you're coming from. I was like, you realise no matter what, there'll be gross stuff on the inside of the skin. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean about
but the inside doesn't have to be the outside as well. Anyway,
So-
you were saying. Continue.
Sylkas begrudgingly lets you all move on ahead.
Good on yourself. It
Takes
won't be
the
too long.
horses
We're gonna
and
have no
cart.
problems at all. Neither are you. Probably should just move to the woods or onto the main path or something.
I do not believe Archibald. I rolled a 1.
As we
I'm very persuasive. I'm not.
as we
Yes.
head off, I'll be like, hey Archibald, sorry, no, Sylkas,
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
if you run into trouble, just try and cast something that'll let us know.
Oh, I can certainly try, yes.
Fireworks in the air.
I was thinking that.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Mulan.
Anyway, let me just check what spell that would most likely be.
I don't know if he has them in there. I think they're all on his phone.
I'm going to assume he has Thunderclap.
I think
Alright.
he does. He
Good
has
to-
something with
Good to
thunder.
500 feet.
He used Thunderclap back in the previous fight, so
or
yes.
120.
Yeah, so he has thunderclap.
So, you all leave Sylkas behind. He is giving you a bit of a death glare, but he's
Yep.
staying behind. And you head off into the northern area.
Is his
above the
death
main path.
glare different to his usual look of contempt?
Oh, very much so.
Oh, okay.
This one,
I notice.
yeah. This one's more than just contempt.
Oh, good.
I'm kind of imagining him with the usual face, but he's like tapping his foot and his arms are folded.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. As you go, you can see the foliage as you get further away from the track. It's a little bit more dense. It's obvious that plants are harvested quite frequently along the sides of the track, and they don't get much of a chance to grow. Roll a survival check for me, Sarah.
That landed under my character sheet. Survival?
Yes.
Is this with advantage? Because
Yes.
oh, good.
It's to do with hearing.
Oh, that's not
Self
great.
is helping her.
13.
13.
Believe it or not, that was the higher number.
Yeah. It takes you about an hour or so, but eventually you do come across, as you crest over a particularly large hill, you look down and you see ahead of you quite a scattering of what look from this distance to be thistles. And as you head down there towards them to collect them, you get a little bit closer. Make a nature check for me.
Me?
Whoever would like to inspect these and see if they're thistles.
Yes. Nature. Oh, I'm proficient in that. 20. Maths.
20 maths.
22.
22. Very nice.
19 and 3 is 22, right?
Yes.
Okay.
10.
So, Archibald, these are man-eating plants. No, I'm kidding. So, Ariel, you get a little bit closer.
I was born yesterday. I was born last week.
And you see these are pretty obviously thistles. This is what you're looking for, and you remember Korma asking specifically for the leaves. Are you going to start harvesting them?
Yes.
Okay. You do so, and while she's doing that, are you two helping out? Or?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be helping out.
Okay. Everyone roll survival checks for me.
Woo! I'm not good at that. Apparently, I'm bad at surviving.
19.
14.
Not bad.
12.
12. Wow, okay, that's a pretty decent spread, at least. So, you'll get down, you start harvesting the leaves off these thistles as you go.
Ow.
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 You get a few pricks as you go.
Yeah.
I would like to mention that I get no pricks with my roll.
You do, yeah. You're very used to handling thistles, as Korma mentioned, or as was mentioned previously, are very popular as ingredients for medicinal potions, things like that.
Which I do a lot of.
Which you do a lot of. So you're used to handling thistles and
I thought this will be easy, but it's not.
you're funny.
After a couple
Guys.
of pricks, I think I'm gonna take a couple of swigs of whiskey and keep going.
Pinch them at the base of the, where they attach to the stem.
I'm gonna
It'll
try
help.
that.
You try it, it works. You watch what she does. She shows you with one of the thistles still attached, and you see that she avoids the pricks, and she manages to strip it of its leaves, and you recreate it, and you get pricked once by the leaf as it kind of falls off, but you avoid for the most part getting stabbed. And then, as you kind of are finishing up your harvest, you hear this, and then some steps.
Is that a hyena from the line?
Now put my book.
And then
Ready magic missile.
you turn around and you see two figures come over the crest where you were, the hill that you'd come over.
Good, they're big.
And they kind of look down
Brilliant.
at you. They see that you see them. And they go, ah! Ah! And then start charging forward. Everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Cool.
Yay! I
What are we
did ask
looking
you
at?
for a
Describe these
fight.
in great detail for me.
I will in
Oh,
a
wow.
moment.
That cocked. Oh,
I'm actually really
off.
glad about this because I asked him for a fight today.
Any rollers? Of course, it's on the fucking bottom of my pile.
Can you do
This
me
might-
a favour and give me advantage on initiative?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I know the answer to that already.
I want better lighting in here so I can read my keyleth dice better.
Wow, I opened right up to it. That
Actually,
was
sorry,
amazing.
just in case. These are normal thistles, right? They're not like fantasy thistles that are 10 feet high?
They're not fantasy thistles that are 10
Okay,
feet
good.
high. These are normal sized thistles.
3 foot
Okay.
high.
So you see coming over the hill as the long grass parts to reveal them in their entirety. You see two very much hyena-looking creatures as they run towards you.
That was right. They're the hyenas from the Lion King.
Both of them are holding in each hand a short sword. Both swords, the blades are covered in blood, and you also notice as they run, their snouts are covered in blood as well.
Are they coming from the direction that we left Sylkas in?
Yeah.
Oh no.
They seem almost rabid. They're very hyperactive, and they are charging at you with this craziness in their eyes.
Oh no.
Now,
Oh no.
that's good. So that's
Fuck off.
okay. So, initiative 30 to 20. 20 to
Sorry.
15.
Oh, 15.
15. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So,
I wasn't adding to it, and I was like, 12. Like,
15 to 10.
10.
10. Oh god. 10 to 5. 5 to none.
3.
3. Okay.
Speaking of
How-
3, will
how far
anyone
away
be
are we?
upset if I burn the forest down now?
Well, it's not forest anymore, but
It's like, it's
Okay,
quite dry
good to
plains,
know.
as
If
we
you can-
already established.
if you can do something that will. Are we talking about this as they charge us?
Yep.
If you can do something that will cut off the grass towards my forest, you can light the rest of the grass on fire, and I won't
Oh,
be
hell
mad.
yeah.
okay.
How far are we from the road at the moment?
You're quite a ways from the road. You're
Okay.
about. I mean,
It took us an hour to get there.
You're moving slightly slowly, looking around for the thistles. So it's probably, if you were to go at a medium to high pace, it'd be about half an hour back.
Okay, yeah, so plenty far away enough.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
So
pretty
who wants
far
to tell Josh that we might have killed his character?
I'll do it.
Okay. So as they charge towards you, they're about 60 feet out at this stage, and they start charging down this hill, and you see one of them kind of catch his foot on something and stumble forward, almost goes like face into the dirt, but manages to catch itself. And the other one charges all the way at you, gets all the way up to
Choose one with high hit points.
John. Gets all the way up to you, John,
Yep.
but is at this point unable to attack its useless dash. So it's all the way up to you, brandishing its short swords, and is about to go into the attack. Sariel, it is your turn.
I'm gonna shoot the one that's next to John.
Okay, go for it. Make your attacks.
But first, oh no, I can't because I don't have that. Damn, I'm excited because then I forgot that I didn't take Hunter's Mark.
Yeah,
All right,
That's your other ranger.
I only get one attack, don't I, at level 2?
Yep.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's not great. 14.
14. That just
Does it
hits. Just hits. So you take a
Yes.
shot. You kind of get spooked a little bit as you go to release by the fact that it's so close to John, because he's standing a little bit
Full hit
between you.
point.
Full damage. Nice.
So
As you
11.
take the shot, what was it?
11 damage.
11. Very nice.
He's dead.
Okay.
So it's 8 plus 3, so got full damage.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Good. So you don't kill it. However, you do manage to send the arrow piercing through just the side of the leather armor that it's wearing. You can see it's covered in this sort of patchwork leather armor, little harness here and there, and like a almost half skirt loincloth thing that's clearly some form of armor at least it was in the past, and is now just hanging around its waist. You manage to pierce through the armor, and some blood starts to seep out there. As John, it is
Are
now
these a
your turn.
monstrosity?
Okay.
No.
So I'm gonna rage,
Yes.
and I'm gonna try and one hand I'll reach down and grab the shaft of the arrow,
Okay.
and then I'll twist and try and ram it in deeper with my knee.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Make a
Noel's
You gonna
taking an
break
arrow
my
with
arrow?
the knee.
make an attack roll. And make an attack roll.
Yeah, you're just, oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Why
Critical
didn't you
fail.
use the magic word recklessly?
You see the arrow fly past and embed itself in, and you go to grab it, but the creature in front of you spins in like agony and goes to clutch it itself, and almost accidentally bats your hand out of the way as it clutches the arrow. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No,
Okay.
Aim in the balls.
Which brings us to the second one's turn.
I don't have unlimited actions.
It is now also going to run up, and it is going to run to. That was cocked D4. It's also going to run to you, John. And it sees you there engaged with its friend.
Yep.
Makes it right up to you, and now they're both standing very close, but that is its turn because that's a full 60 feet.
Hey, John.
Yep.
Do they smell bad?
They smell very bad. Archibald, is your turn.
I'd like to
Just helps me picture it.
move so I can get the two kobolds, but not John.
They're not kobolds, but yes, go ahead.
Two gnolls, but not John. In a 15-foot a 15-foot cone.
Yep.
Then I'd like both of them to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. It's a 7 and a 19.
Oh, fuck off with your 19. But either way, I go like that,
Yep.
and I'm pointing up.
Yep.
So I'm like trying to avoid immolating any of the surroundings.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, come on.
That wasn't great, but that's okay.
I'm assuming we've got the opposite of what I got,
So that's six.
which is minimum
6
damage.
candle damage.
Six burning hands damage.
Okay.
6 burning hands damage to the one that failed. Oh, to the one that failed. 3 to the one that passed.
Okay. Good. Is that your turn?
Hey, you still did damage to the
Yeah.
other one.
Alright. It's not half damage on
Yeah, it
this
is.
is a.
A creature
oh, it
takes
is. Sorry,
it's a
3d6
level
fire
spell.
damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Okay, so.
Don't question me on
there
this.
we go. Alright.
Know the rules, especially when
Is that a
they're right in
cantrip or a
front of my
level one?
face. It's a level 1.
Okay. I thought that was a cantrip. Right. Now, the one that you mostly. It's like. Got this mane that goes up the back of its neck.
Not
And it's
anymore,
now
it doesn't.
mostly on fire.
Should have used less hair, John.
Pretty much gone. That one turns to you and sees that you've done this, and is going to move forward and attack.
That's
Hooray.
So,
Yep.
Opportunity attack.
I'll allow it.
Oscar?
ooh,
Fuck off.
yes, you do get an opportunity attack.
Okay.
That's not so great.
I do
23.
like how you're
23.
rolling with the.
That hits. So,
I should hope so.
so what are you trying to do?
Cut it
Just
in.
punch it?
Chip it up.
Yeah, just whap him in the back of the head.
Okay, roll your unarmed damage.
Put the fire out.
7 damage.
7 damage.
7 head whapping damage.
Okay.
Head whacking damage. That's the worst kind of damage. Apart from necrotic.
I can't math. Okay. No, I've got it. Good. All right. You do so, and it kind of it takes the hit, but spins briefly to look at you, considers, and then goes for Archibald once more. What's your armor class?
You sure you want to do that?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I am terrifying when I get angry.
What's your armor class?
It's 12.
It's 12. So, the two attacks with the two short swords come towards you.
Yep.
And they both hit.
Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? I have an armor class of 12. Great. Now I'm going to have to get a whiteboard marker out.
Almost.
3 damage on the first and 8 damage on the second.
Oh my god.
As they
Literally,
both
what the hell?
swing towards you and flash through, and they just cut across. They barely cut across the front of your chest. As it wildly
looking
takes the
rough.
swings.
Just if we could end this right now, that would be great, guys. Thank you very much. I don't mean to alarm you.
Which brings us goes
3
to
hit
Sariel.
points worth of hit points.
So
How
you-
close
No.
am I to Archibald?
Sorry, what?
How close am I to
How close?
Archibald?
You're only about 10 feet away because you were all kind of together.
Yeah, well, I'm going to move to him and use Cure Wounds.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Roll for. Is that roll or is that
Yeah, it's roll.
roll?
Well, it's... I roll for what I heal him for.
Yeah. So roll your healing.
If this gets back around to me, I feel sorry for everyone. Because I'm mad. I'm mad and I have a 1, but I don't know how to use it.
So you get 10.
Oh, hell yeah.
8
Nice.
plus wisdom modifier.
Sorry?
It says spellcasting ability modifier. That's wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, 10.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm looking fine.
Looking fine. Good.
That was a scary 3 seconds for me.
Is there anything else you'd like
And
to
then
do?
I'm gonna shoot it
Okay. So
at
it
close
is.
distance, attempting to get it right between the eyes.
Okay. So you have had to move within melee range to the one that was attacking Archibald. If you would like to move out of its range, you can do so, or you can shoot the other one. Otherwise, you'll have disadvantage on your shot.
I'll just take the disadvantage.
Okay. Roll attack.
Do I? Am I too low leveled to get that? When injured, I do extra damage,
I don't know.
or is that a thing that I have?
I don't know. It's all unearthed arcana too, so I can't even check. So
I'm just reading my thing. Hang on.
all good. You
It
do
doesn't
also.
say it.
Oh, you do have the.
I'm in incredible pain. Oh, no, I'm not.
Disadvantage, eh?
Yes.
18.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you hit.
I rolled 11 and 12.
Nice. Yeah, you hit. So roll your damage for me.
6.
6. All right.
So not so great, but you know.
So you take your shot at that one. You just draw the arrow up. You cast Cure Wounds on Archibald, who kind of turns and gives you that quick thank you, that look of thank you. And then you immediately knock that arrow, pull back, and at this point you're basically, it's just point blank. It's right up to its nose, and you take the shot.
It's like one of those 1-inch punches.
Pretty much, yeah. It goes to duck out of the way, but you tear through a lot of its neck area. It is looking pretty rough. Looking pretty rough. Rough. John, unless Sarah, do you want to move?
No.
Okay, John, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna grab one of the thistle plants that's in the ground around me and just try and whip the knoll across the face with it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, roll first.
This should count as a win.
Roll a straight wisdom check.
Yep.
The nose cast same thing
Wait,
on
that was
itself.
cocked.
That's all right.
3.
3. Now you can roll your attack.
Oh no.
Oh shit, Oscar.
Yeah.
Take my damage off because that was 2 actions.
Cure Wounds is an
21.
action. Okay. 21. Yeah, that hits. So you can roll your damage.
What's a wisdom check?
I'm grabbing a thistle plant. What could it be?
Maybe this is a bad idea.
9 damage.
9 damage to
Wait.
the one that's still
Sorry,
engaged with you.
11 damage. My bad.
The one that's still engaged with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's. There we go. As you pick up the thistle, you do take 1 piercing damage. As you forget about the spines momentarily, at least in regards to your own hand.
Is this before my resistance to piercing damage?
He's fine.
You take 1 piercing damage, and then you wince briefly, but you rake it down the face of the one standing in front of you, dealing.
I'm now picturing a hyena doing that I'm in pain sound. You know that eep, eep, eep.
Pretty much. Dealing your 11 damage. Is that your turn? Oh, plus rage. Did you already add that?
Yeah, I already had that.
Good.
And then I'm going to try and grapple him with my other hand.
Right, you can do that. Go for it.
Oh, go on,
That's
grapple him with the thistle
not
hand.
big
That'd be far more entertaining.
Okay, so that's 10 plus athletics? I forget how.
Whichever, it's athletics or
it's
sorry, it's
15.
athletics for you,
15.
athletics or acrobatics for the other. 15.
Yeah.
You go to grapple it with your other hand, but it, in its pain and wanting to avoid you, spins out of your way and actually moves around you a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't get the grapple.
Yeah.
So, the one that is still engaged with you now it pulls out its second short sword after having dodged around and goes for the multi-attack on you. That'll be the bite.
Oh,
Damn.
Those are some low rolls.
Those
Why
are some
couldn't you get
low
those
rolls.
with me?
Does 13 hit?
I don't think so.
You just picked the
13
lowest.
does not hit.
13 doesn't hit. None of them hit.
It just bounces off my skin, apparently.
So
So he's just freaking out about the thistle.
it pulls out the short swords and goes into this wild slashing. You just go duck underneath it, and then it goes in for a bite, and you manage to palm its face out of the way, and that's its turn. That brings us to Archibald. It's now your turn. You're still engaged with one that's directly in front of you.
Okay, and how far away is the other one from me?
It's only about 10 feet away.
Can I get both of them in a 15-foot cube, but not my two friends?
Yes. Yes, you can. Yes.
Awesome. I'm gonna look at the one that hit me.
Yep.
I'm gonna look it square in the eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna say, "You done fucked up now. Let's go." And I clap, and I'm casting Thunder Wave. Make
Damn.
make Constitution saving throws for me.
Con saving throws. Oh, damn. That's a 3. And that's a 13.
Oh, fuck off with your 13. I think. Hold on.
That seems low for you.
What
You
is
should really
it?
write
Eight.
that on there. 8
My
plus
DC is
plus
13.
int. Is it?
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
just saves.
Alright, fine. Well, it's going to take
It's also half damage, isn't it?
half damage. Come on, max damage. Not bad. 11.
11 damage.
And the one that saved isn't pushed away, but the one that failed is.
Okay. Alright then. So that's good. The one that didn't save was the one that was directly engaged with John.
Of course it was.
And it's now being pushed
Yep.
10 feet?
Yep.
10 feet back from John. The one
Left
directly
is
in front of
melee
you
range.
is looking it's looking okay at the moment, but the one in the back is huffing and puffing, and there is blood streaking down its face.
I thought it was the other way around.
Well,
No,
Salt is
'cause
supposed to be
I
huffing
did
and
No,
puffing.
double
I
actions.
thought that the one that John was attacking was the healthy one, and the one that was attacking me was the fucked up one.
No, 'cause I messed up.
Yeah.
I did 2 actions when I wasn't supposed to.
No, I think you've got that backwards.
Do I?
man. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will take your word for it. In that case, the one right up to you, which would be, it would be that one. That one takes. Oh, sorry, it's the same amount of damage to both.
Yeah.
That one leaves. That one gets pushed back, and you are now. It's now next to John as well. They're
Yeah.
both kind of next to John because you're about
There
10
you
feet
go,
away. As
Oh,
this
thanks.
this other one comes flying back, slams into its friend, and kind of remains standing, but they're both there in front of you now. It is that one's turn. Having seen this happen and being very, very rough, it is going to.
When it looks at me, I'm just like,
It sees this, looks at you, and goes, "Ah!" and then bolts. It turns around and heads back towards the hill that they came from initially.
left you melee.
I
And
don't
kind of like
care.
it scrabbles at its friend and like grabs its arm and starts trying to pull it, but then just goes as the other one doesn't
bit
quite react
helpful.
quick enough.
Guess who's getting a
Is it my
thistle
turn?
in the back of the neck?
Go for it, roll the attack.
Oh, come on! I mean, there's moments for comedy.
Take another 1 point of piercing damage. As you go to do it and it catches hold of its armor, it doesn't quite pierce it, and as you go to rake it, you actually just pull it up through your hand.
I feel like you're just very bad at fishing.
Pretty much.
Oh, my ear!
Is it my turn?
It is now your turn as this one
I'm
suddenly
a shoot the one
just
that's running
bolts.
away.
It is going fast, like really
I'm a
fast.
shoot it.
Um,
I'm a shoot it.
go for it. Take your shot.
I'm a shoot it, I'm a shoot it, I'm a shoot it.
That is 25.
Yeah, that hits. It has 1 HP, so your minimum damage will kill it. So
Yeah, and I got max damage, so it did.
So you drop that one without a problem, and it is now out of the fight.
I'm going to menacingly turn my bow with a knocked arrow at the remaining one.
It's not
but
about
shoot it.
winning, it's about sending a message.
Okay, you do so. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
John, there's one remaining. It's looking after its friend, like it's looking back in the way that its friend just bolted away and then got dropped by the arrow in its back. What would you like to do? Just like
Live as a coward or die a hero, your choice.
It's like, I'm just gonna go and like straight for a punch in the face. I think. Plain and
Okay.
simple.
Oh, buddy,
Roll
this
attack.
isn't working out for you, is it?
it's really not.
Oh, God.
Wow.
8.
Doesn't hit as your punch just kind of connects with the very solid neck area of this knoll and sinks in. It doesn't really seem to bother, but it turns back towards you and it's got some fear in its eyes.
Somehow hit the hard part of its face with the soft part of my fist.
It's the soft part of your fist.
It is now going to use an ability Sudden Rush, and it is going to bolt, which means it doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, and it is bolting not in the direction of its friend, it is bolting further into the plains, and it's going to run away. It gets 90 feet. It gets 60 feet away, and that is the end of its turn. You can still see it. Archibald, is there anything you would like to do?
I'd like to magic missile that bitch.
Roll your damage.
Oh, that wasn't a roll. Should have taken it though, it was a 4. Okay.
That's pretty nice.
That's 12 damage. 12 force damage.
12 force damage.
As 3 magic missiles hit it in the butt.
So the 3 magic missiles, it kind of like, you cast this, and it's running really fast, looks back, sees this as like, ah! And then, dish, 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 but it keeps running, it keeps going, and eventually goes into a dip, and you lose sight of it. But it is now gone, and it's left a bit of a wake in the grass behind it. You are now out of combat. So
Did it look rough as it disappeared?
yeah, it looked like it wasn't having a very good time. It did, yes.
I'm going to get my arrows out of the body of the dead one.
Okay. Roll a
Oh,
straight
I'm
dexterity
tapped
check.
out. I'm tapped out. I hope we don't get attacked again today.
13.
Like a moment
13.
to calm down.
Yeah.
Just like
You retrieve your arrows with no problem.
The hell were those things?
Sariel, you
Hey, guys.
know that these are gnolls.
Yeah, well, they're gnolls, but they came from where we left Sylkas.
Yeah, we should probably head back there.
Yeah.
We head back there.
I'm gonna start running.
Okay.
yeah.
Thistles in bags and pockets in hands.
I will try and match pace, but nope. I can keep pace with John, but what
I'm
else
going to-
Oh,
I mean, he's
half
athletic,
elf,
man.
Too fast.
So that they don't get, like, lost,
Okay.
just in case. I'm going to get Sulphur to stay with them and she can track my scent to
Okay.
where
Okay.
I'm going, but I'm gone.
In this case, everybody roll an athletics check for me,
Hell yeah.
Am I gonna fall up a hill?
including sulfur with disadvantage, please.
You're not going to believe this, but I'm average at that.
Hey, question.
Wow.
An
That was
an
cool.
important question. How long did
That's
it?
not great.
Actually, no, that doesn't matter. I was
I
wondering.
don't actually have her stats in front of me. Does anybody got a...
Wolf. I need monster manual. For athletics, you will be adding
Can't wait till I'm a higher wizard
Plus
and I can do
1.
more than 3 attacks.
Cool, so she rolled a 6.
Okay. So what did everyone roll?
10.
Well, I got 17.
13.
And Sulfur got a 6. Okay. So Saria, you are gone. You are much faster in these areas than your allies. The two of you stay pretty close. John, you've got a bit of a lead on Archibald, but you're maintaining, and Sulfur's sticking back with you, Archibald, to make sure that you don't get lost.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And eventually it takes you about 15 minutes of this fast pace to reach the road and see Sylkas in the cart. He seems fine. He's sitting there grumpily spinning his cane around, activating it, deactivating it. He seems none the wiser as to what's just happened. He glances over and sees you and says, "Oh, you all don't look very good. What happened to you?"
Speak for yourself. I get it in the back of the cart.
A group of gnolls waylaid us. They came from the road direction. We were worried they came after attacking you, but I guess you're fine, so...
Oh, no,
Yes.
I'm absolutely fine. I haven't seen anything noteworthy.
I, pull a
Someone
thistle,
like you write everything down.
pull, a thistle thorn out of, my ungloved hand, and I'm just like... So, you think this is enough, Saria?
Should be.
Alright.
Alright then.
So, you have
Well,
now
I mean,
retrieved...
are you keen on going back?
If we've got enough, then that seems enough.
You have now retrieved the kobold hides and the thistles.
Hell yeah.
Or the thistle leaves, at least, yeah. You have one left, and you know it's on the other side of Fredatowne. It was about a day's travel from here to Fredatowne, a little bit less, as I mentioned earlier, for you to get out here. And you
How much daylight do we have left?
roll a survival check.
About 3.
I'm good at those.
About 3
3
days.
days
Not
worth.
that good. 9.
9. It's pretty early in the day. It hasn't taken you long to collect these thistles. You could probably make it to Fredatowne by sundown.
How about we do that?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
That seems a good plan.
Okay. So, you...
Sylkas, you can drive.
Okay. He jumps on the front, grabs the reins, and starts fighting with the horses, but eventually gets them going. And
Horses start putting on boxing gloves.
yeah,
Let's go, buddy.
exactly. And
Oh, I don't want any of that trouble. I just want you to drive.
you all begin moving back towards Fredatowne. Once again, the land here is quite featureless, and eventually you do come within sight of Fredatowne's quite recognisable relay tower, the forest below it, and then as you kind of round that bend, you also see the town splayed out before you.
Yep.
You do reach it, and as the sun is just dipping below the horizon, you reach Fredatowne once more. As you enter the city, what would you like to do?
I reckon we park
I
up
can't.
at the pub.
Yeah, well, I can't afford to shell out for the rooms again.
Did we only get one night?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I only paid for one night.
How much was
I
it
didn't
for
know
a
how long
night?
we'd be in town. I
It
didn't want to
was-
prepay if we were.
It was two gold and 3
Oh, okay.
silver.
Oh yeah, I can cover
For-
that.
For the stables and the 2 rooms.
Yeah, I can cover that, except for Sylkas's cut. He wants his own room, he can get his own room.
2 rooms in stables was 1 golden.
1 gold and 3 silver.
You
Yeah?
trying to fleece me, buddy?
Yes, I am.
It's those new customer discounts. Yep, alright. I got this.
You got this, huh?
Yep.
So, you pay for another night with stables included. That's the wrong side of my calendar. And you all head to bed. Is there anything you'd like to do before sleeping this night?
Try to string my bow.
And meditate.
And I'm going to apply one of the poultices to Sulfur as well.
Okay. make an athletics check for me, and then a medicine check.
Okay. Hang on. Get back to the right page. It's a 7 on the athletics.
7 on the athletics, and what for the medicine?
A 19.
19. You're having trouble with that bow. It's just not cooperating with you. But after an hour or two of attempting to string that, you apply Sulphur's poultice once more. She once again appreciates it. The wounds don't seem to be getting any worse, and it seems like the pain has eased a little bit. Yeah. Anyone else doing anything?
Nothing in particular, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just meditating. I'm holding the wand, and I'm just trying to like activate the runes over and over again. See what happens.
Okay.
I'm not casting any spells or anything like that.
Roll an Arcana
I'm
check.
just figuring this stuff out. Ooh, 19.
Noted. Good.
Cool.
I will keep that in mind.
Thank you. After our break.
Close. So, you're bed down for the night in the full tankard once more. Eventually, you come to consciousness in the morning again. The sunlight filtering through the windows and some wildlife in the form of birds and other such early morning type creatures. Filter the sounds as well come through your window, and you begin to all wake.
You hear the ritualistic scratching of the owlbears trying to get up to sleep to go to bed.
The light is very dim at this point, because the clouds, as you all peer out the window, the clouds overhead are very thick and black, and it is starting to rain. With that, we will indeed go on break.
Yeah.
We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes.
Hopefully it will have stopped raining by then.
Hopefully it will have stopped raining by then. So, everyone enjoy your break. Go to the toilet, get some food, whatever you need to do. Grab a popcorn refill if that's what you've been doing. We will see you soon.
Yeah.
As soon as I can get my remote up for this, because I'm an amateur streamer and don't know what I'm doing.
Terrible. Come on, man. Hurry up.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep sledging you until you actually do this. I mean, come on. How
Okay. And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. We'll get
Okay.
right back into it, I think. Everyone's very quiet right now. It's almost
Yeah.
eerie.
It's called respect for your DM.
It's because of the
Which
ghost.
I was going to say the only reason it's quiet is because Josh isn't here back talking you.
Yeah, that's probably true. You make me... I'm getting too comfortable with him not being here.
Yeah, that is dangerous.
Watch out, guys.
Well,
I'll be
it didn't
breeding
seem
Josh
like you
next.
guys got that comfortable without me, so I'm good with that.
All right. So we'll get right back into it. After having headed once more back out of Fredatowne to the west, with the intention of collecting your kobolds' hides that you'd killed previously, and then the thistles as well. You had an encounter while collecting the thistle leaves with two gnoll flesh eaters in particular.
Oh.
Which caused some trouble for you, but some very nice strategy and attacking from all parties involved ended up scaring the absolute bejesus out of them. One of them attempting to flee initially and then being shot down by Sariel in the back, with the other seeing this happen and making a run for it.
Can you make that
In a different
sound
direction.
a little bit less like cold-blooded murder, please?
To be fair,
It was.
it was.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're headed back to the main path, regathered with Sylkas, who you had been worried about, but was blissfully ignorant of the
Never
entire
gonna be worried
situation.
about it, big head.
I was worried. We weren't worried. We just wanted to check on them.
Yeah, okay, fair. Made
It's
your
like,
way back to
I hope the
Fredatowne.
horses haven't died.
Yeah, made your way back to Fredatowne. Stayed the night once more in the full tankard tavern before waking up to a rainy morning with the light just barely filtering through your windows. With you all in the one room and Sylkas in another, what would you now like to do?
Well, I guess we should go and drop off the thistles and the kobold grease to the Korma, and then head out. Rain and all.
Well, she said that she had that herb bag, right? So we should probably pick that up so we can get the scent anyway.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah, shall we?
Bag's not waking up so good.
Yeah, I'll go do it. I'll go around and knock on the door. Hey, Sylkas, we're heading out. You up?
Oh, pillows. What? John?
We're getting ready to head out, Sylkas.
I think I'm gonna stay here today. I'm not feeling so great.
You don't sound like yourself.
No,
Yeah.
it's because I'm really not myself today.
I'll get better soon.
All right then.
You
Fair
have
enough.
24 hours.
Well, I hope you get better within the week. I'll see ya when we get
Thanks.
back.
Yeah, have a good trip. You hear no more from him.
Yep.
You all head down, grab your breakfasts.
Yep.
And you're heading straight over to Korma now?
Wait, no, before
Oh.
we do, I'm going to bartender the outstays the checkout time. He will be paying for both rooms and the stable for another day.
Okay.
That should just go up there and ask him for the money.
Okay.
Yep.
You let her know.
And he's in a really good mood, so ask for a decent tip.
You let her know, and then you all head out over to Korma's.
Oh, on the last thought, I will ask her to take him a cup of tea. Just normal tea.
Okay. She nods and obliges. She begins making tea and starts to take it up. So, you approach Korma's house. Who's going to knock? Who's going to enter first?
Yep.
Me. She'll just stare at me anyway.
Okay.
I guess I'll have to go in because I have the bag.
If you want to keep the bag on you at all times.
I kind of do. It's an extra layer of defense. They want to stab at me, they've got to get through the bag.
I love the idea of like someone poking you with a spear, and you're like, with a spear, and it's just
Holding the bag open to them.
yeah.
That poor cleaner on the other end.
Why is it a vertical shoot?
Okay. So, Sariel, you knock on Korma's door and immediately get the "Go away!" response, knowing what happened the other day. Oh, okay. And she walks over.
Go away. It's us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear her kind of clacking up to the door, and eventually you hear the locks, the multitude of locks. I think there were 3 locks that you saw on the inside the first time. You hear them unclasping, and eventually the door opens, and she sees you and ushers you inside. Have you got the ingredients?
2.
2 of them. Well, that's a good start. Which ones?
The thistles and the dead
The
stuff.
Kobold.
Perfect. It takes me some time to extract the grease from the hides anyway, so bring them in.
I don't want to be here when you're there. Alright.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
That sounds kind of gross.
I will go in. Where do you want them?
Anywhere, here's fine. She just points to an empty spot on the floor. You pull them out.
We would like to give Sulfur the interview herb bag, or if we could, even just take the herb bag with.
Well, I can do that, yes. It's empty anyway, so just be aware it won't store them in... I mean, unless they're ground down. It's pretty small, but it will definitely give her a sense.
As long as
And
we
she
can take that with us in case she gets distracted.
once again goes back to her lines of shelves along the walls, starts rifling through stuff, just throwing fragile things across the room, and eventually pulls out the bag and hands it over to you. For
And did she finish the foundation?
oh yes, right, I did. And she runs back around to the side in that extra alcove, grabs something off of the table and brings it over. It's like a small bowl filled with this viscous liquid. Almost, it's not a liquid, but it's like this gel almost that is the exact same color as your skin.
Sweet.
And she offers that to you both. Here you go. Hopefully this does.
How well does this deal with water? I ask as I kind of
Oh,
give
it
a
will wash off
glance
immediately, but
outside.
I mean,
Well, it's not going to be useful today,
yeah, that's fair.
but if we go somewhere well populated where there's lots of us wanted monsters, it probably
Agreed.
you have, I'm going to say you have 3 applications, and an application would be defined as covering the face and neck, and then the exposed hands, maybe some of the arms. That would be 1 application. You have 3 total applications with this bowl.
Alright, so can you give me an ingredient list for this? so I can make more later?
Yes, I don't know it off the top of my head because I have an ingredients list for these kinds of things, but I can provide that to you later when you're back.
Okay.
I'll send it to you on Messenger.
That's what I figured that meant.
Okay, with that, are you heading back out?
We dropped off the stuff, eh? Like,
Yep.
we emptied
Yeah.
all of our
Yeah, oh, yeah.
pockets.
She grabs the
Thistle.
thistle leaves immediately and chucks them in one of the mortar and pestles that she has lying around, but then immediately goes to the cobalt hides, chucks them over a rack in the back, and starts to, you can see her
we
getting
don't
rid of...
see
They're
any
basically...
of this.
She starts to clean them, you can see. But as you leave, you see her doing this, you close the door behind you.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does the door open like inwards or outwards?
The door opens inwards.
Okay.
Which, funnily enough, also makes it really hard for her when the door is anywhere is open. Makes it really hard for her to get to some of her shelves and items, which is, you can gather, part of the reason she keeps it closed all the time.
Yeah.
But you close the door behind you. You remember her advice from the other day, in that the Sanomyzerium herb is a blue herb, or at least it's got a blue flower. It's located primarily in dark areas that are as free from Umbra as possible.
And she also said that the cave that she usually has it found in is dangerous at night, but she doesn't know why.
Yes. So she said previously that she has someone collect it for her.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's being reported that if you remain in the cave until nightfall, you can't get out until the next day.
Okay.
She doesn't know why personally, but she is aware of this fact. And you have been pointed out to where the cave is. It's in one of the long cliff sides that spans the edge of the Eastern Tract. It's about a day and a half travel from here.
Right, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you grab the horses and cart once more, or are you going on foot?
I would rather go on foot.
Yeah.
How far
Because
away
I don't
was
want to
it?
have to try to protect said horse.
Okay.
How far is it on foot?
On foot, it'll be about 2.5 days. So an extra day.
What do you guys think?
I think,
The hassle of the horse and cart is probably still a bit much.
yeah.
I'll go on foot.
on foot.
Can we ask her to get a message sent back to be like 2 and a bit days?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit. Can we ask her to which?
To send a message to Sylkas to inform him will be a couple of days.
Okay. Yeah, she nods vehemently and says, yes, I can do that.
Cool. So as long as he knows that we'll be back in a couple of days.
Yeah, okay. So, you head off to the east. Korma's home is already on the far eastern side of Fredatowne anyway, so it's only about 100 meters before you're well and truly clear of the town. You head out in that direction along the main path, which does curve kind of downwards towards a river, but then there's another one that curves up, and you can see a bridge over the river, not too far up. So you head over that way and begin your walk. What kind of pace on foot are you setting?
As fast as we can without making it hard to, like, miss routes and stuff.
Like, we're not trying to
So
be
safe,
stealthy
fast.
or anything.
Not
so,
trying to be stealthy. Okay, so a fast
like,
pace.
as fast as we can go without risking injury.
I will consider that a
Yeah.
fast pace.
Sustainably quickened.
We're old lady on the street power walking.
I
In
love it.
Miami.
Wait, are you thinking like 60 old lady or like 85 old lady?
I'm talking like 60-year-old old lady that has the weights in her hands and she's going like this the whole way down the road.
Uh-huh, yeah.
You're really trying to string that bow, aren't you?
Yeah. Gotta build up my arm muscles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe if I do this for 2.5 days straight, I'll gain plus my strength.
Okay, so you do you have a marching order? Now this can be 3 side by side. It can be 3 in a row. It can be you'll be up ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get lost in forest.
Okay, well, this isn't forest, but yes.
I will be behind.
I'll be like,
Sorry, Al.
I think I'll be vaguely beside you, Archibald.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So you're maintaining a small distance between Archibald and John at this point, but you're taking the lead. Roll a survival check for me for the first day. You can all roll that if you're trying to help,
Hell yeah, I'll help.
based on the directions that you've been provided.
Oh no.
Please help. Is this with advantage or just
This is
Hey!
straight roll.
19.
I'm so glad you're right beside me.
19.
I don't know.
But
You rolled a nat 20 and looked at 19.
I don't know. I don't know. But then that's 5.
John,
It's a 4.
you have a pretty decent sense of direction, and as you start to make your way out to the
Yeah.
east, you have to correct Sariel a couple times on her direction. She's keeping the short term very
Yeah.
much covered, but you keep having to kind of say, we're heading a bit too far to the north, and pushing a little bit further that way.
Yeah.
The first day comes and goes. As you get further into the day, the rain starts to pick up quite a lot, and it's not pouring, but it's definitely very unpleasant at the moment. You reach what seems to be nighttime behind the very dark clouds, and start to strike camp, or start to set camp. Are you setting up a watch?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Probably.
Are we like?
I'll
Given there's only 3 of us, we'll probably have to take extended, like, longer rests, but yeah.
Are we?
If we each do 3, it'll be 9 hours.
Yeah.
Are we under like a rock face or something like that to keep us out? of the rain?
Roll an investigation check. Someone who's looking for.
Me. Oh no,
Ooh.
someone else.
You don't find a particularly great. This is all the plains. This area is all classified as the plains of Ekronora.
Yeah.
Plains of Ekron. So the foliage is quite sparse, as well as the cliffs themselves are quite further on. Yes.
Can I find 8 sticks, quite sort of that round,
Yep.
lash them together using dry grass, lash dry grass together using dry grass, and make a lean-to?
I think that would take, like,
make a
day.
survival check. You can definitely find the materials, but make a survival check.
8.
8. You make a lean-to. It leans,
doesn't matter if it
probably not in the way that you intend for it to lean, but you do manage to fashion a very small lean-to that you probably all just fit into if you really squeezed in.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest that we set it up on a bit of a rise, just in case the plains turn into floodplains.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Good call.
That will decrease the DC for you. So has decreased the DC. So, who's taking first, second, and third watch?
I'll take first.
Yeah, I'll go second.
I'll take third.
Okay. So, Sariel.
Before we do go to sleep,
Yes.
it doesn't say it here, but am I able to use prestidigitation to just like quickly dry our clothes so we're not sleeping in wet clothes like right from the get go?
I don't
Like-
see why not.
Yeah.
You do so with your own clothes, you do so with Sariel, and then you
think
turn to
there's-
John, you go to do it. His clothes are just immaculate. And you don't understand how, but
We had an umbrella this whole time. Also, what's an umbrella?
his very fancy looking clothes that you've seen him in the whole time, as you realize that
It's a raincoat.
as you realize that casting prestidigitation would have really not much effect, you also inspect it a little closer and see that despite all the adventuring, despite him getting down and dirty with gnolls and kobolds and sleeping rough, there isn't even any dirt on his clothes.
I'm gonna cast Identify on his clothes.
I actually want to get real up close and personal with you, John, for a second, and cast Identify. This,
I mean, I guess we're under the lean-to, so we're all up close and
Yeah.
personal.
Yeah, it's touch and it takes a minute, so I'm trying to do it kind of stealthily.
the suit, as you cast Identify on it, it's very, very fancy suit,
Yep.
fine quality fabrics, and it's enchanted with prestidigitation.
Of course it is. Oh, that's good. Don't have to worry about you then.
He is filthy. His clothes
I'm
are
gonna cast it
immaculate.
on him.
If you
You get
could, like,
cleaned up.
prestidigitation shampoo my hair.
Sorry about your dreadlocks.
You get fully cleaned up. You are sparkling with how clean you are right now. All three of you. As Archibald cleans you all up with
Then I
Presto.
go to sleep.
And then you go to sleep. Sariel, you're attempting once more. Roll an athletics check for me.
So sad.
16.
16. You get a little bit of a bend on it. You get some tension going, and you put maybe 10 centimeters before you just can't go any further, and it
So I am getting better though.
springs back. You are. Well, it seems like you are. And then I would like you to roll perception with advantage for me.
I rolled 2 twice.
Oh, good.
That's not how advantage is
Six.
meant to work.
That's why I'm laughing. So it's a 6.
6. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that my wolf has better perception than that.
It's really difficult to keep a good watch while also remaining under this very cramped lean-to so that you don't get
Oh,
soaked
I
to the
wouldn't
bone.
be remaining under the lean-to.
Oh, you're gonna leave?
Put it, yeah, put it down to the weather.
Okay. It is quite difficult to see. You've got no moonlight. The plains are very barren, and it's almost because of this that it makes it even harder to see. Usually with moonlight, these plains would make it really easy to keep watch, but because there's no light at all filtering through these clouds, and the rain, of course, itself making visibility even worse, you have a lot of trouble keeping watch. But nothing directly attacks you. You don't see or hear anything really, and eventually your watch passes. John, Sariel wakes you up and, sopping wet, heads on into the lean-to, sulfur curling up right next to it.
Yeah.
To be fair, it would just be my cloak that would be wet, right?
For the I mean, it's soaked through the cloak at this point. It's definitely not just a sprinkle.
Wake me up and get prestoed so you don't get sick.
I'm not going to wake you up.
Okay.
I'm not going to wake him up, but I am going to cuddle up to Stolver because she will make me at least warm while
Yeah.
wet.
Okay. John, are you leaving the lean-to?
Yeah, I'll leave the lean-to to take watch.
Okay. You head out, and in your case, your suit itself keeps you.
Yeah.
The problematic part of being wet is kept at bay. The water doesn't actually soak into the
Yeah.
clothes. It's hitting, soaking, and then there's a little of steam. After a couple seconds, it soaks in a little bit, but never
Yeah.
gets past the fabric. But roll a perception check for me.
Yeah.
I want to see how it, like, hits his head and his head's, like, soaked and it gets to the edge of his neck and then, like, everything else is dry.
Oh yeah, it's exactly right. 13.
So, like, comes down his neck and then...
Over the period of your watch, the rain doesn't get any heavier.
Yeah.
The light doesn't get any better.
Yeah.
About halfway into the watch, you do hear very faintly in the distance this. It's like a really discordant, almost human sounding, but not howl.
Okay.
And it's just from way off in the distance, you hear this sound.
Far away.
Far away. But that's all of note that happens during
Okay.
the watch.
Also on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roll a dexterity check for me.
Yeah. Okay, that is, I believe, where is my thing? Okay, 17.
17. Okay. Archibald. As John wakes you up and jumps back into the lean-to, his suit absolutely pristine, not even a drop of water on it.
I'm still going to Presto's face. Because don't want him to catch cold.
And you can see Sulfur and Sariel curl
Yeah,
up together, sopping wet as well.
Drying them off as well.
Okay.
Because
All of a sudden,
It's like-
Sariel, you start sleeping better and you don't know why.
I appreciate the gesture, Archibald, but I'm not going to get any prettier.
it's just so you don't get sick. Don't want you catching whatever Sylkas has.
Yes. All right then. Well, have fun out there.
Yep. And I will go out
Okay.
for my watch.
All right.
I like to imagine
Roll a
you
perception check
casting prestidigitation on yourself again and again.
You
Just
just
watch.
No, it's just every hour or so. Ooh,
Not bad.
perception?
I would say
17,
it's
right?
whenever he
17,
starts feeling
yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
It basically is. Yeah, I'm just using it like whenever I'm feeling cold and wet and alone.
It is pretty cold on the back end of Twy. It is pretty cold at this point, and so you're using that quite often. You're still shivering even when the water's not soaked into your clothes. But with your roll, you hear the same howl once or twice throughout the night.
Any closer?
The rain gets... The second time you hear it, roll an insight check. That's not bad.
Oh, you saw what that
I
was.
did see what that was.
18.
18. It seems maybe slightly closer. It's hard to tell, but maybe it seems like it's a bit closer. Still way off in the distance, though.
Okay.
Sounds like it's resonating across the plains, coming with the wind that's blowing along the cliff sides. So you don't feel directly threatened by it at the moment. The rain gets a little bit heavier. Starts to pour in a little bit. Starts to drip on you. John wakes you up for a second, and Sariel as well. But eventually, through the clouds, some more light begins to filter through, and you all wake up once more with another long rest in case you happen to need it.
Good.
I think at this point we are on this day.
Do I have a candle with me? Because I think I'll just light the candle if I'm if I'm getting cold. I'll use Presto to just light the candle, hold my hand over it until it inevitably blows itself out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That will help.
Yeah.
That definitely helps. So you all come to in the lean-to, and to what would you like to do?
I want to dismantle the lean-to.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take any particular care with it, but I'm not leaving an obvious structure
Just shove it over.
in a plains.
Okay.
Man, that was not secured at all.
You dismantle it. It kept you moderately warm and dry for the night. Wasn't particularly effective, but it was better than nothing. It is raining harder than it was the previous day, which, as Archibald wakes you up, you notice. You don't wake up naturally like you normally would because the light is so dim through the very heavy clouds that it doesn't penetrate your consciousness. But you move on from your spot. You are now leaving the main path itself to head even further into the plains. You can see the dual cliff line ahead of you. You can see where there is the one large cliff line that stretches all the way from north to south, and then behind it, big plateau, and then same thing, almost the same length of the first, all the way down. And behind that, the Dalen Range, the huge mountain range that borders the entirety of Dalen Dower. And as you move forward through the day, is there anything anyone's doing over this course of the day? You're continuing with your...
I'm periodically looking for trap.
Okay.
To see if there's anything, like kobolds or anything like that are kind of frequenting the area.
Okay, absolutely. Roll a survival check.
I think like not.
I'm really glad I'm proficient in it. 9.
9.
I'm not so glad.
You see some larger tracks. A couple that you don't recognize. And you take a moment to have a look at them, and one of them seems like it's almost it's a large round imprint that you see, a series of them. You've heard stories of elephants, not that big, at least from what you have heard.
These ones are absolutely mammoth.
They're smaller, probably about the size of something just a little bit bigger than a human.
Hippopotamuses.
But they have these large round imprints as a footprint with just the 3 small, almost toenail things or claws
Definitely hippos.
that don't dig into the ground. And you notice them once, but you don't see where they lead. It's very hard in this very long grass. After a couple days, and after the grass kind of stands back up from being trampled, the tracks become practically invisible, to the point where there's not even a point tracking them. But you do notice that once, and you notice some other smaller creatures. You notice some what look to be feline tracks, maybe of a large cat of some description, but you can't decipher exactly what.
I'm gonna chat to two of you, or probably mainly Archibald, depending on how you're interested in on the best ways to try and implement fractional reserve banking.
First of all, I have no idea what that is in real life. Second of all, I think Sylkas might be a better audience for this.
I mean, it's true that he's.
I think he's more invested.
Ha!
That's fair. I won't
Banking
bother
joke.
you with it anymore.
It's no bother. It's just I don't understand it. I can't speak to you on your level. I feel bad that you're wasting your time on me about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I can understand that, but
I'm going to nod and say, at appropriate intervals
Okay.
when he speaks up.
Okay.
I don't
So you're
have that
speaking
level of
to
charisma.
Archibald out for a bit,
Yeah.
before Archibald has this conversation with you, and you just hear from out the front, you hear this, yep. Yep. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Just occasionally.
Like, I'm trying to be polite, but I don't. I barely understand currency as it is. So, because, I would barter and trade
Yeah.
skins or meat or whatever rather than money. Money's relatively recent for me. So I'm a bit like, okay, cool, great idea. Mm-hmm.
So the idea of being able to lend out more money than you actually have is very much not well rooted in the bartering and trading aspect of things.
Not really.
Cyril, roll a survival check for me. John, roll a also survival check for me, and Archibald, roll a history check for me. 10?
17.
17.
16.
16?
20.
Wow. Okay, nice rolls.
Dirty 20.
The rain has kept you very much awake. The cold water running down your face, Sariel, getting under your hood as you pull it over. And it's making it hard to concentrate on the immediate area on tracks and the path that you're on right now, and so you focus a little bit more on the direction you're going and trying to get to the caves and to shelter potentially. John, you assist with the same thing, and you manage to keep a steady course.
Yeah.
And Archibald, you recalling Korma's directions and what you know of these cliffs, you start to look along the cliffs and see where you're potentially heading, and you actually spot what looks to be a dotting of caves along the cliffs. With those very good rolls, you actually cut off half a day.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Nice.
as the sun begins to set, you approach the mouths of these caves that you see. At this point, you're still maybe a mile out. Remembering recalling what Korma said about going at nighttime.
Yeah.
Are you going to camp out here?
Yes.
Let's camp against the face, get some
As it's still raining.
shelter
It is.
as we can.
I'm gonna make another lean to.
Okay. As you're doing so, roll a survival check for me. You start to hear those howls again, and they're getting a little closer, or you seem to have gotten a little closer to them. But they seem to be coming from roughly the direction of the cliffs, maybe a bit further north
Do
than
they
you are.
sound gnoll-like?
They don't. Not from your experience with gnolls and the kind of almost cackling sounds that they make. They don't sound gnoll-like. What was your survival check, sorry?
11.
11. Slightly better, having had the experience of using the materials you've gathered from the plains rather than from a forest where it's much easier to gather stuff that you can use that's a bit better quality. You throw together another lean-to. Seems a little bit more sturdy. Maybe the drainage is a bit better too. The leaf coverage over the top and the grass coverage over the top is a little better at keeping out the rain. You keep hearing these howls as they happen, and they don't again seem to be threatening you directly, but they do seem to be getting closer, ever so slowly, getting a bit closer. You all bed down in the lean-to for the night.
Yeah.
Watch order
I'll go second.
I'll do first.
first.
Yeah, I'll go third then.
Sariel, you take first watch, once again in the rain, which has remained pretty heavy throughout the whole day here. Roll your perception with advantage, because Sulfur is helping you.
Oh, that's way better. 22.
22, very nice. Throughout the night, throughout your watch, you hear the howls seem to pinpoint in one location. They seem to stop moving. And it seems like it's directly where you're going in the cave area. And then they eventually stop. You don't hear them again for the rest of your watch. Eventually, you wake up Archibald.
Mm-hmm.
I will inform him that of the direction.
Yeah.
And the fact that they stopped. And it's kind of weird.
I will keep an eye on them and an ear out. And
Yeah.
I will also cast Prestidigitation before she goes to sleep this time instead of 3 hours into her sleep.
Thank you.
And also on Sulfur because don't want it getting more sick than it already is.
All right. Roll your perception.
Natural 20. Natural 14. And 20 adjacent. 17.
Cyrus pointed out the house and where they're coming from, and you heard them throughout the day and while she was setting up the lean-to as well. And you don't hear a single one throughout your watch.
Okay. It's got me a bit nervous, but
You watch the kind of cliffside and you see the very large, from a mile away, there's very tall cliffs, and all you see is black mass in that direction. It's a little worrying because it's hard to see any maybe silhouettes that would be coming towards you up against the black backdrop, but you remain vigilant and you keep your watch. Nothing directly attacks you, and you do wake up. John?
Yeah. Okay. So
Do you pass on the same knowledge?
I do.
Okay, then. I guess I'm in for a disturbed night. Oh,
Well, I haven't heard them for the last 3 hours, so
okay. Well, I guess I'll see you in the morning.
see you then.
Roll your perception. You have a much better strategy at that than any of us do, besides you as a dice
A
tray.
dice tray. That's a 19.
19.
Yeah, I said that before. His way of rolling it is awesome because he like smacks it against the book.
It's better than me or Josh. Josh has a dice tray and he still doesn't use it.
No, he does. It's just apparently the dice tray
loves
is
to
coated
bounce
in
it.
flubber.
Yeah, doing. You being on the last watch, you don't hear any for the first couple hours,
Yep.
and then as the sun or as the light starts to come through, you start to hear the howls again.
Yeah.
Directly from the direction of the cave, you see the cliff face begin to. It gets even darker as the sun comes up over them,
Yep.
and eventually, you hear the howls moving away again.
Yeah.
They seem to be getting further and further, heading northish.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the two of you are awake once more.
Yep,
You're about a
so-
mile away from the caves.
So do you think I have enough time to finish making it tonight?
Roll another dex check for me.
11.
Do we get a long rest?
I'll say yeah.
Okay.
I'll say yes.
Um,
Yes, one more long rest for everyone.
So, yeah, in the night, I've finished kind of like making this contraption, and as you wake up, I say, Sariel, I've got a bit of a gift for you. It's this kind of like lever arm with a bit of kind of like cord attached, and like I point out how you can use it to gain like a bunch of like mechanical advantage when stringing a bow.
Okay, I'm really unused to gifts. So I'm going to go into my pack and I'm going to give him my staff. I'm going to find something that I think's really pretty and important and give it to him in return.
Okay, you exchange his stick with a hinge for your stick without a hinge. And
Oh, staff. Okay, I just thought it was stuff. I genuinely
Stuff.
just heard stuff.
yeah.
So it's not just any. It's not a stick. It is a. Like almost like
Is it more like
let's say it's walnut, and I have intricately over many winters carved beautiful designs all
okay?
over it.
So it's a lot more shaman stuff than quarter staff then.
Yes, very
So
much so.
it's literally for like walking,
Yeah.
long journeys, and you have a stick.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a nice thing to have.
Yeah.
It's a very intricately carved staff. It
Yeah.
looks like she's been working on this for many years.
And it does 2d6 damage whenever you hit someone with it.
I refuse to use a weapon.
Well, it's not a weapon. It's
a
too
walking
pretty to
stick.
be a
Yeah.
weapon.
I forgot that.
It's a walking staff. Yeah. So-
But like you can see the joy on my
Yeah.
face that you've given me this and explained how to use it, and I like go literally rummaging through my stuff, all excited, and hand you something, and I look very upset that I'm handing you it, but I'm handing you it happy.
yeah.
You don't have to give this to me, but thank you very much. Thank you. Oh wait, I forgot. You don't have to. But,
You got him used to it. You got him used to it.
Yes. I will give him his cup of tea as well. So he can respond to me normally.
I love it.
I mean, I'm kind of returning a favor already here, but if you really want to give me a gift, then I'll accept it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
And then I will, if there's any nice looking pieces of wood nearby, I'll pick one up and attach it to the side of my pack to start working on.
okay, make an investigation check.
Investigation. 16.
Okay. You don't find any staff-sized pieces of timber. Unfortunately, there really aren't many trees around here. But you keep a lookout as you move around, as you move throughout this area. So, now, you're all heading straight to the caves. Now that the sun is a little bit higher, you can just see the outline of them, even though they are still in shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably head straight there.
Yeah, we'll want as much time as possible.
Okay. It doesn't take you very long to reach it. And as you do, you see the mouth of this cave. There are a few smaller ones pockmarked, like even further up the walls. You can see it looks like entrances to basically what would just be a rat hole.
Yeah.
But there's one larger one here that is quite a large open mouth cave. Maybe the mouth itself maybe be 20 feet across and about 15 feet tall. And it dips back into darkness, and you can see it kind of opens up a little bit first into this initial... It's like someone's just cut a circle and the circle's been cut off for the mouth. So there's this little room right here, and then you can see it continues a little bit further back into an actual path.
What do I call this for my inventory?
Let's just call it a bowstringer.
Bowstring thing.
A bowstringer?
Bowstring thing.
String thing.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna put in brackets, dick with hinge.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it is. With some other intricacies involved, some strings as well, and
Yeah, but from my point of view, it's a dick with a hinge.
pretty much.
So, from my knowledge of the area, do I know whether these like cliffs are natural or like a natural feature?
Yeah, these are a natural feature of the land.
Okay.
The Daling Range is just past it.
Yeah.
It's a dual mountain range that rises up very. So they're the highest mountains on Daland are.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very long mountain range, and these cliffs are just kind of like the edge of it almost.
Okay.
Make an Arcana check.
Hell yeah. 19.
As you've been traveling out this way,
Have I
You've
noticed
noticed
that the
your-
rain is not natural?
you've noticed your umbral connection get progressively weaker and
Oh,
weaker.
I don't like that.
Uh,
I do not like this at all.
At this point, it is very weak.
We probably should have seen this coming.
No, I did. I just wasn't mentally prepared for it.
So, is that going to affect my ability to cast, like, Cure Wounds?
It will.
Damn. Don't get hurt.
So,
Not like I have a choice. I'm a wizard.
you're all
Yeah.
delving into the cave.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do before you do so?
Right before I lose my umbral connection, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation one more time. Oh, 4 more times. I'm going to dry all of this off,
Okay.
including sulfur. And I'm also going to cast it and light up a torch.
Okay.
Okay. She's going to lick you appreciatively, like on one of your hands, and make you a wheel. Just so you know.
Oh.
So, you.
Because, you know, you've
It
just made her
takes you-
clean and fluffy.
It takes you some attempts. You stand in the mouth of the cave just under the cliff so that you're not getting rained on, and you cast and it fizzles, and you cast and it fizzles, and you cast and it casts, and you manage to get one person done. And you take a few more attempts and you end up getting the whole party done, but it is very weak.
I'll just stand outside in the rain, and I'm just going to hold the torch inside the cave, and I'm going to cast it from out here.
Even then,
Light, damn it!
even then, it's very weak.
Don't make me use this.
So, you do end up getting it done. You have a torch.
Okay, I feel better.
Sariel, do you happen to have like a spare knife for Archibald, perhaps? Like,
I have 2 short swords and I barely use them, so you could have one if you like.
Well, thank you. I will take a short
When
sword.
we get back to the cart, I did put a short sword in the back that you could have permanently. When we get back to town. Did you put it in there?
I think so.
That would be good if you
did we
did.
put like everything from the cart in there?
Oh yeah,
I
that's
think-
right.
Yeah, we
cart stuff.
We did that earlier, right? We emptied
Yes.
the cart into the bag.
Yeah.
So he would have a short sword in there.
Yeah, so you'll have a short sword, however many rations were left. I don't remember. I think you had them tracked.
Yeah, I would probably.
There would be There would have been roughly 4 days, but I can forage for up to like 5 people every day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's what you've had to be doing this trip. The rations lasted you out to the west of Fredatowne and back, and then you had practically none left.
Yeah.
So you've been foraging for food, and you have been finding some. No animals. You haven't been finding any meat, but you've been finding some edible small shrubs, berries, things like that.
Roots. And
Roots,
stuff like that.
yeah. It's not being, you haven't been eating very well, but you've been eating.
Okay. I will pull out a short sword.
I'll offer to take the torch and lead the way.
Okay.
Shall I?
I'm very happy for you to lead the way.
Torch in one hand, walking stick in the other. All right then. Head into the cave.
I'm going
Good.
to be smiling very slightly, watching him actually using the walking stick. Makes me happy.
Yep.
All right, John Law. Skip this. Now, as you head into the cave, what pace are you setting? Are you trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to be quick? Are you trying to jump over
I
the
think
candlestick?
I think stealthy would be best.
I think
Yeah.
we're like not tiptoeing,
Well,
but we're
if we're
trying to be
stealthy,
quiet.
we probably shouldn't have a torch.
I mean, we're not.
We're not making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Like discreet, but not quite sneaking.
Invisible.
Seen
Yeah.
but not heard.
So you're leaving
That's
the
kind of
torch
what I was
lit?
going for, like not
Yeah.
making obvious sound.
So I guess
Okay.
like
Yeah.
a moderate pace then, I suppose.
Because
Okay.
even if the torch is lit and we run into trouble, at least we've got something to burn them with.
Okay. Roll a stealth check. Everyone roll a stealth check.
Oh, yeah?
Sulfur with disadvantage. I can give you her stats if you need.
I will need.
Why sulfur with disadvantage?
Because she's diseased.
But she's also fluffy.
It rustles so much.
This is why we need the
Sulfur's,
companion
Oh,
page.
that's horrible.
Sulfur's stealth is +4.
Okay, so she has a 19,
With disadvantage. Damn.
15, and 17.
Wow. Okay, so Sulfur rolled a 19,
13.
13,
13.
13,
18.
18. Very nice. Good to know. Okay. So, as you begin moving into the cave system here, it takes you. It starts to get very dark. There is absolutely no light.
I'm
in this
currently
cave.
living my nightmare.
The torch is providing enough light for the two of you to see.
Thank you.
You're seeing a little bit better. You have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Yes. You're seeing a little bit better as you're moving forward, and you can see past John a little bit further than he's actually
Can-
tracking, but
Sulfur see in the dark?
I believe so. I don't know for sure, but she can also smell. So
Okay, well, because if they're seeming to be struggling, I'm going to sort of nudge her forward and let whoever seems to be struggling more, which I would assume would be Archibald, sort of hold on to the scruff of her neck
Yep.
to
I'm happy
anchor
to do
yourself
that.
a bit better.
she doesn't have dark vision, but she does have keen hearing and smell. So she has that advantage.
Echolocation.
So, as you move forward, about an hour into your travel down this cave system, you start to hear a noise up ahead.
Yeah.
And it gets louder and louder, and eventually this loud rumbling is made apparent. It is a river. As you round a bend and you see where your path opens up into a little bit of a cavern, and there is quite a wide and very fast flowing river coming out of an area in the wall to your right and going out of the room out to the left, and it is moving very, very quickly.
Okay.
How would you like to get across this river? There is no bridge. It is just it is about 30 feet wide, and you're in a not very tall cavern. Yes.
Can I attach a piece of rope to an arrow and shoot it strong enough into that it won't move.
That's a better idea than what I had.
You each get to do one thing here, and it will lower the DC overall. So, is there anything either you would like
So
to offer in addition to that?
How wide is the river?
It's about 30 feet wide. So it's
What I'm thinking
enough that
is
you can't.
something we can hold on to cross.
yes, yeah.
Without being pulled off straight.
I'll get you to make
I'm gonna
make an investigation check.
try and like look at the like rock features on the other side to see if there's a crack that the arrowhead could jam into to like get a more secure hold.
Okay. Roll a perception check because you've got the torch. This is not with disadvantage.
12.
12.
13.
18?
13.
13. The two of you together, you manage to find a decent enough anchor spot.
Yeah.
Archibald, is there anything you have an idea for doing here?
I have an idea, but it's really dumb.
Sorry, I've
I'm
already.
gonna check. Is the bag just a regular bag at this point?
You reach in, try to request one of the items. Nothing.
So it's got a bottom to it at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been fun.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It would have been fun, right?
It would have been fun.
Sorry, I think you already answered, but I immediately forgot. How wide was it?
30
30 feet. Okay.
I'm gonna look at the river and try and examine how deep it is.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
I'm gonna pass you my walking stick.
Move that d6. I'll call it. Okay.
Investigation 24.
20. Wow. Okay. Fuck. Yeah. The river itself is probably. It's pretty shallow considering it's moving so fast. It's only about maybe 5 feet deep.
Just
That's
gonna walk
almost
through
as
it.
tall as my character.
Hey.
It's almost as tall as my
Oh,
character.
5 feet, not 5 inches.
5
Okay.
feet, not 5 inches.
Yeah, it was just like, what? Take a rope, take a rope.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, it's about 5 feet deep.
How, like, are there any rock features, like, say, like, two boulders next to each other with, like, a V that you could, like, get something lodged in on the other side?
Yeah, there are a few stalagmites that are kind of poking up around the place. You see where you could possibly wedge something if it would throw.
Okay.
John,
Walking
I
stick?
need a favor.
Yeah.
You're strong, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Toss me.
Could you piggyback sulfur?
Yes.
It might hurt a little bit, but she won't let go.
Yeah. I'll do that.
I don't really want to leave her in a cave.
Sulfur, can you piggyback onto me on your own, right? Yeah.
Probably just jump at you. If you crouch down, she'll manage it just.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's not like I haven't done it across
Yeah.
rivers before.
I forget. Do you also have a rope? No. Okay. I'm thinking about whether an arrow will hold better than if we tied the rope around like the center of your walking stick and then lodged it between those two stalactites over there. I don't know whether that's.
I mean, have you got a
Seems
good
like
enough
it might
throw to make that?
I mean, like we got multiple tries. If it ever gets stuck, it's stuck, right? And then we can use it.
I mean, it is a pretty strong stick. But at the end of the day, it is a stick.
I mean, I think it will be stronger than an arrow, I suppose.
Depends how well I wedge it.
And it also depends how strong your arrow is.
Fair. I'm
Do you have
willing to
something
try
to
it.
Yeah.
If you can throw it,
Do you have mage hand?
Don't have anything right now. That's what I'm trying to fix.
Oh, right.
I want to look around in this cave
Mm-hmm.
I just had a
and
worse idea.
find out if there's any carborundum about, like naturally occurring
Okay.
carborundum.
Roll.
So that's why they're
Roll
getting
investigation.
magic here.
16.
16. You find one very small vein of very shiny, grey, metallic substance running down one of the walls.
If I put my hand on it, can I try and cast Prestidigitation? Like, maybe just to create a quick shower of sparks?
You cast Prestidigitation. You cast it again. Cast it one more time. You just get this tiny little.
Okay. Okay.
So I suppose my idea is out the window watching that. Because I was like, can he, burning hands, turn the water into steam long enough for us to
See, I kind of. I can see those stalagmites on the side of the.
The torchlight is reaching far enough
Yeah.
across that you can see them, yeah.
Do you reckon a well-placed magic missile would make a bridge?
I mean, they're not 30
Maybe.
feet long, right?
Are they?
The stalagmites are not 30 feet long, but there are stalactites above the river. The roof is lined with
Are
them.
there?
You could drop a couple of those, make stepping stones.
Some of them are
Are
pretty
they
I
large.
am now
Yeah.
pointing oddly at this.
Like pretty significantly large chunks of rock hanging from,
Alright.
or not rock, but mineral hanging from the ceiling.
I mean,
So
if
this
you
is
did
like
it right,
a really fast-flowing river, right?
It's pretty
if you
fast.
did it right,
It's
the
whitewater.
gap between wouldn't even block the river.
I'm gonna.
I think if you can do it, it might be worth it, but I don't think we can knock down anything that won't be swept away by the river.
I'm gonna try it with one of the big ones. Just gonna hand back on the
Okay.
carborundum chunk, and I'm just gonna try casting a magic missile at the at the stalactite or whatever it is.
Find
So-
a way.
Don't worry about rolling damage at the moment.
Do you want me to roll Arcana or something?
No.
Is this something
What-
you
what
weren't
does-
expecting?
What does your magic missile tattoo look like? And where is it?
I think it's.
I think it should be on his appendage.
Magic missile.
I'd say it'd be like up my arm. It'd be a series of different runes. One involving motion, one involving force, another one involving like the shape of them, and another one just giving them color. And
Okay, so the two of you watching him do this, he puts his hand on the wall where you see there is this streak of, very narrow streak of something shiny. He puts his hand on the wall, and then you see all of his tattoos light up all at once. He casts magic missile, roll damage.
oh no. 9.
9 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. He casts magic missile and you see the 3 bolts of energy come out. It's unimpeded. You don't see like there's no fizzling of any sort, and he
Yeah.
seems to cast it perfectly fine. And you watch as that tattoo on his arm immediately goes perfectly dark, and the others slowly fade back to dark. You hit the stalactite in the ceiling.
Yep.
And it falls straight down into the river. It goes, and then it's a large piece of mineral, and then falls over and kind of scrapes along, and then wedges. And it provides a form of stepping stone.
Huh.
Okay.
How big we talking?
It's not very big as a stepping stone. It doesn't go very far across the river. It's not a boulder, but it's big enough for you to step on briefly and keep going. You've still got 15 feet on either side, or roughly about 13 feet on either side of it,
Okay.
where you'd have to get to it. But
Okay, so
So that was a thing.
that worked quite well. Well done. How about, I think maybe best plan would be if you two try to like keep one end of the rope secure.
by the way, you use access spell slot, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll
It's magic missile.
tie the other end around my waist, and I'll try and make the leap across and use that as a stepping stone.
Okay.
It's a bit far, but I think the jump looks doable.
Okay.
Just.
Alright.
Then after that, you guys can work on that, but I'll have it tied off, and I'll be ready to pull you in.
All right. Roll if you're doing this.
So
You're doing this.
I'm
Anyone else
doing
have
it.
anything to offer?
Like you guys are both holding on to the other end of the rope, or doing something to like try to hold it in case I fall in.
Oh yeah, I'll hold it.
I'm holding it. Sulphur's holding the absolute end of it.
Yeah.
Like pulling
Yeah.
Yep.
a little bit.
Seeing as I think if we're
You
doing
know, like
it
how
this
dogs do
way,
with tug toys and they like shake their head a little bit?
Yep.
yeah, I think if we're doing it this way, then it's probably best to like once we've got the rope across, then deal with sulfur.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
if we needed to, she can always walk onto the rope and we can literally drag her.
Yeah.
But it would probably take all three of us.
And seeing as this is rather dangerous and rather serious, I'm just gonna go, okay. God damn it, I will get across this river! And I'm gonna rage.
Okay. Roll athletics with advantage.
That
Oh,
was...
What do you get?
no.
Those numbers
What do you
were
get?
a 3 and a 1.
Plus what?
Plus 5, but still.
So that's an 8. You
We pull him in?
you make the run up, you leap, and then your
And
foot
you get
slips on the stalagmite, and you go, "Doosh," and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage,
Oh, no.
halved to 1, as you're raging, and then you are pulled back over. I'm going to count this as you're still raging because you just hit your fucking head.
Yeah, you
on-
just took damage.
you just took damage. So you can try again if you would like.
I'll try again while I've still got the adrenaline coursing through me.
Yeah.
He's now pissed off.
Natural 20.
Nice, Michael.
Okay. So, with
Blood
this attempt,
dripping from your face.
you see John climb up out of the fast-flowing river as you're pulling him back, and he's got blood streaking down his face.
I'd like to think that he just climbed up the other side of it. He just angrily walked across the bottom.
You see, after he spends about a couple seconds climbing out, and as he stands up, suddenly, and he's like just steam everywhere. And then he turns around and goes for it again as you're kind of scrabbling to make sure you're holding onto the rope. And without even, before you can even get tension on the rope, just straight across. Just one foot and then the other in this big movement, and it gets across the whole river. And you make it across. You now have the rope over both ends of the river. You're looking to tie it up somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna tie that end around a stalactite. And then I'm gonna just hold on so that I can reel someone in if they fall, and they'll be reeled into the good side.
Okay, roll a dexterity check for me.
You really should have taken sulfur with you.
Okay.
4.
So you tie it off to the stalagmite.
Pretty sloppy knot, but yep.
Yeah, not even the knot itself. It's the
Just
shape
the
of the
slippery
stalagmite and
yeah.
the nature of it makes it really difficult to get a firm hold. But
Yeah.
you stand there seeing this and hold on to the rope. Who's going to try next?
I would say that we should tie the rope around whoever is jumping,
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
and then maybe throw it back over the river. So
Yeah, I think we can manage to throw it back over probably.
If you go next,
I can fire it back.
yeah, you can shoot it back.
There are plenty of like loose rocks around, right?
Oh yeah, it loads. They're all over the place.
Yeah, we can tie it to a rock and chuck it over.
Any of these
I'll
things
go.
will work.
I'll go next, because if we have to shoot it back, I might as well.
Okay.
What are we gonna do about sulfur?
I mean,
Maybe she should go next.
yeah, we can.
And John can just pull her.
Yeah,
She'll
like
hold on. He can pull her.
Sulfur can jump, right? She might make it. Like either way.
I don't know how far. How far can she jump?
It's,
I don't
for
have
long
this
for a
stat.
long jump, it's what your strength or your strength score plus what? I don't remember.
I don't remember it exactly either, but sulfur has better chances of making it than I think. Like
Well,
sulfur's got what, like 12, 13
she's
strength.
a +1 on strength.
Yeah,
So, like she
I'd say
has
she
as
can-
good or better chances of making it as like you guys. So
yeah, I'd say. I mean, it's not unlikely that she can make it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a difficult jump, especially to land the stepping stone. But she could possibly do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna tie the rope around her, like under her like shoulders.
Yep, like a harness. Yep.
I'm gonna pretty much gonna try and make a harness so it's not gonna actually hurt her if John has to pull her.
Mm-hmm.
And then motion her to jump over the river. Can I just go?
Okay. She looks, sees she's seeing what John did, and she's going to attempt to copy. You can roll for her. This is an athletics check, which is +1 for her.
18.
18. Sulfur
Ah!
attempts to copy what you did,
Yeah.
and you're already holding onto the rope, and you watch as she bounds across, hits the stepping stone, slips a little bit, but uses those the powerful muscles in her back legs to propel herself forward, and she manages to scrabble onto the other shore, the other bank, essentially. It's just you two left on that side.
Yep.
Sariel, you're going next.
Unless Archibald wants to.
Sulfur does have the rope, so
yes. I'm gonna untie the rope from around Sulfur.
yep.
Find a good throwable sized rock. Tie it round kind of loosely because I can always try again.
Yep.
Just like one hand on the rope that's beside me in case it fails, and just hook it over.
You manage that fine.
Yeah.
Roll a quick dexterity check for me. Yeah, you manage that fine. The rope doesn't stay attached to the rock for very long, but it does fly over the other side. One of you two runs and grabs it.
Yeah.
I'll go next because I'm pretty sure
Okay.
I'm more of a liability. Okay. Tie the rope around me.
Okay.
I'm gonna ninja warrior right across this stream.
Okay, roll your athletics check.
Athletics?
Yep. This is like a long jump kind of thing.
Sweet. Natural 20. Natural 4.
Ooh. You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as Archibald. You run and you go to launch off the bank, and you don't get quite the distance you wanted, and you go and just glances off the side. The rope itself kind of wraps itself around the bends
great.
around, and you get swept a little bit further down. But John, you're able to make a strength check, athletics check for me.
With
I'd like-
advantage because Sulphur's gonna help.
I'd also like to be crawling.
With advantage.
Like
Well done.
crawling up the.
21.
21. You are
Thank
able
you,
to
Sulphur.
pull. The rope gets a little bit frayed, but you manage to pull him up,
Yeah.
and you are pulled to the opposite side.
I'll rock.
Wait, before you do that,
Yeah.
I'd like to attempt to cast mending on the rope.
Okay.
Yep.
You go to cast mending, and it doesn't go.
Okay, never mind. Just please do better.
Hey, Sariel.
I forgot about the magic.
Thinking about the way back,
Oh,
do you think we might want to like tie the rope off to something of your end and then shimmy across?
Might be best. Can I see anything I can tie it off to?
Yeah, the same way John has done it. There are a number of stalactites and stalagmites
so-
hanging around.
Once he's thrown it back, I'll
Yep.
tie it up.
Okay, roll a dexterity check for me.
Him or me?
You.
Whoop! That flew off the table. What is 9 and... Oh wait, no, that's easy. 12.
12. Yeah.
I was like 9 and 3.
You tie it off to the to a stalagmite that you find, and you even kind of wedge it down in between the crux of two of them, and then you're going to attempt to shimmy across it, like hold onto it and pull yourself across. Okay, and all three of you are helping on the other end.
Yep.
All right. So
Well, I don't know how we could actually
can't help.
actively help. Wait, no, I can shout advice that I received whilst training in athletics.
okay.
just put one hand in front of the other.
Yes.
Sariel,
In the
roll
excursion to the high ropes course at my fancy boys school.
roll an acrobatics
course.
check for me.
Does it have to be? Oh, wait, actually, no, I'm better at acrobatics. Never mind.
Yeah, I couldn't roll an acrobatics check.
19.
19. So
Wouldn't have helped.
you kind of
With a 4.
start moving down into the river from the bank. You get up to your waist, and the water is pushing you so hard. There is no way you could have walked across this. And you grab onto the rope and then start pulling yourself across. And it is as the rope dips and you are submerged almost completely in the water. It is very difficult to hold onto this rope as the river is pushing you so hard. You make it about halfway across, and you get to the fallen stalactite that Archibald made. You manage to grab onto that for a brief respite while also holding onto the rope. And then you pull on the rope to get you going again, and the knot fails. Are you all holding onto it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was like aware that it was a sketchy knot, right? Or like the sketchy
You were pretty
start
aware
time,
of
so
it,
yeah.
So, I would like you, since you're kind of helming this,
Yeah.
to roll with double advantage an
Okay.
athletics check, please.
Yeah, I rolled this many dice since you blew up my demon. Mate,
20. With 2 1s, but 20.
Ones and a 15.
gave
Wow.
you double advantage
God.
and you just waste it like that?
Sorry, you feel, as you start pulling yourself, you feel the whole rope drop, and you're briefly completely underwater with it just rushing past you. Then you feel as it's lifted up out and brought taut again. As you see all three of them, Sulphur, Archibald, and John, pulling on the rope from the other end, and you manage to shimmy all the way across, grab onto the bank, and then pull yourself up, sopping wet, just like the
And
rest
I
of
am
them, except John.
going
But
to tie that knot better.
okay, a roll a sleight of hand check.
Just like chooses a boulder instead of a
15.
stalactite.
You
Just chooses the ready-made knot.
Very
thing.
pointedly stare at him.
you find a better stalactite, like stalagmite, looks a slightly better shape, and then pull off a pretty good knot, and it's now relatively firmly anchored from what you can tell. Now, you have made it across that in an hour, having done that.
Look at that, we got round it.
Remembering that you are trying to get out of here by night time.
Yeah.
So, I think we can move on. You make your way a little further in to the cave. All still absolutely sopping wet, because except for again,
No,
you
his jacket is not working.
who
Don't care what you say,
have
it's
had
not
time
working.
spent with the torch, holding it next to yourself. And then I'll dry.
When he beefed it in
Saved
the
it.
water,
Wait. How did the torch get across dry when he fell the first time?
It probably stayed with you when you threw it. Do you want to not have a torch?
I'm pretty sure I have implements to relight a torch, but I want him to be wet.
I saved it.
I haven't known what it felt like to be wet in 30 years.
I believe it.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. I don't have 30 years of backstory for this suit. I'm not that old.
28.
So,
I will relight the torch using like a
beyond this point,
my pet.
you, as you leave the river without your back, a few hundred feet further on, you find a split in the cave. Which way would you like to go? There is a left and a right. It's that simple.
Hey, Archibald. Which way feels less magic-y?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh,
Nice.
that was
It's fine.
16. 16,
16.
so 21.
21. You kind of use the torchlight and you can see that one path in particular has a little carborundum vein running along. The other side you don't see one.
I point to the one where there's no carborundum vein.
Well, hopefully we won't have to spend too long there looking for the damn flower.
Yep, let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
So, you'll head down the left-hand side path. You go for about an hour again, and then ahead of you, the torch starts to illuminate a number of fallen rocks. As you approach, you can see that this is a cave-in, and there is a very narrow view through to the other side where you can see, as you hold the torch up to it, it is clear on the other side. But none of you would be able to fit through this spot without maybe having to move some of the rocks around.
Are these load-bearing rocks? If we take these rocks out, will more rocks appear?
Make an investigation check.
Hell yeah.
Oof.
8.
8. There is one large boulder that seems to be wedged in a way that looks like it's possibly holding up more cave-in. That if it were removed or if it were to fall, it might bring the whole thing down. Besides that, you don't find anything else that looks like it might be load-bearing.
I reckon we just remove the stuff from under the hole.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, I imagine. I'm trying to estimate whether I think it would take more than a couple of hours to dig our way through the rubble.
Yeah, roll just a straight intelligence check.
Yeah, that's a 5.
You have no idea. Looking at it, it's like,
I've never
probably
done-
get this
I've
done
never
pretty
done-
quick. I don't know.
Like, I've never dug through rubble before.
I would vote that we try to move some of the rock, but if it doesn't look made any progress in say 30 minutes,
Yep.
we take the other path.
Yeah.
We don't have the time to waste them.
I'm gonna just like reach in and take hold of my wand. Is that somewhat magical still, or is it dead?
I mean, looking at it, it's dull, but it's usually dull when it's not being used.
Alright.
So you're not sure if it's storing anything magical at the moment.
Okay.
Roll another Arcana check for me. This one,
11.
what level would you get your Arcana in history?
3.
Okay.
That's what I've been
Roll,
asking.
roll with advantage.
18.
18. When you cast Magic Missile, it didn't feel like the Umbra came from the wall of the cave.
Right.
You felt the flow come from your left arm.
Okay.
Wait, so his arms store magic?
I mean,
I can try if you want. Maybe try and expedite this process a little bit. Just point me
What
to where I
happens if you
need
do
to
it wrong?
hit. Well,
I think if we're using up your like vital reserves, then probably best
If
to
we're using
save that for more of an
if
emergency.
we're using up my vital reserves, which I don't even know is still there, then perhaps I'll just use the sword.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
Just where should I hit?
To be fair, he can build up those reserves again when we're out of the cave, and if we have as much of a time limit as we know we do, maybe using his reserves isn't bad.
Yeah, probably. I think you're right.
Like, we are very limited on.
Yeah. So
Alright.
Sorry, I'll roll a survival check for me. Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of scramble up the rubble
22.
and just like peeking through the tiny gap, trying to get a gauge of like where there's like whether just above the tiny gap is the place where like it'll be the easiest to like push through the rubble.
Okay.
Or whether it's
Roll a.
like I'm just
Roll
trying-
roll an intelligence check.
Roll an Arcana check. Architecture
22.
check. I'm pretty sure you got that as a skill.
21.
22
20.
and 20.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're looking at the cave in from the ground. It's not particularly tall, but John has now scrambled up just on the side of it to have a look over the top. You can see that there is a particular section of it closer to that right-hand wall where the large boulder is, where you can see if any of that were disturbed, it would possibly set off a chain reaction.
Right.
John, as you clamber to the top, you see that this boulder is indeed wedged up against a more solid part of the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that if that were to come down, that would probably completely prevent any further progress. And as you look around the top area, you can see a number of smaller, where it's fragmented more,
Yeah.
and it's sitting kind of loosely on top. You can see where you might be able to blast out or dig out a spot there
Yeah.
to clamber through.
Okay, so I think, kind of like point out there, I think that would be probably our best bet if you're going to be blasting at it, which I kind of assume. You want to try and avoid touching like the kind of cone below that big rock there, because do not want to disturb it, but I think there you'll be kind of okay.
Alright.
Yeah, we've got to be careful that moving that big one could cause much worse than what we're looking at.
I'm going to very carefully pick my targets,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to just clear a line, just the size of essentially John or Sariel, just through.
Okay.
Gonna
What spell are you using?
Magic missile.
Okay. So you
I'm gonna back.
step back. You
Yeah,
line
everyone
it up.
back up.
That's a good idea. Me too.
You line it up. You pick your targets with your magic missiles. You both watch as all of his tattoos light up. And then as he goes to cast, you see as he turns his hand, there is no lit up area there. And you go to cast, nothing happens. The rest of your tattoos slowly fade back to nothing.
I think
but
I
that
get
tattoo
it.
never lit up.
I think I get it.
That's not good. I'm
What other
gonna.
spells do you know?
Chromatic orb, thunderwave, burning hands, identify, detect magic.
What do those runes look like? Like, can you point them out to me on your body? You don't have to describe them, just point them out to me.
I'm gonna use the best of my recollection. First of all, is my magic missile tattoo still there?
It's still there. Yes.
Thank Christ.
Yes. It is still
Yeah, but it's not lit up, and
No.
I think I'm getting it.
So I'll just point at a couple of others on both my arms and Thunderwave and
Prep the way that you do that makes your runes shine.
hey.
Prep up the way you do that makes your runes light up.
All right, I'll do that then.
Okay. Yeah,
Light
so
up.
basically you initiate a spell.
Yep.
And
Every other rune lights up.
get it flying. Every rune on his body, except
Except
for that
magic
one
missile.
magic missile
Okay.
one, does not light up.
I think I understand your tattoos a little bit.
Yeah.
You had one charge and you're built up for magic missile.
Oh, okay.
I think you will have a charge of your other spells in your runes.
So, I guess we would.
Oh, okay.
So we probably want chromatic orb for this, right? Because I guess Thunderwave would be the most effective, but also kind of a bad idea.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
rumbling.
At what temperature does rock melt?
I mean, like pretty high, and there's like pretty big heat sinks. It'll be difficult.
Is it partially dirt?
Yeah, a lot of it is dirt. A lot of it is shattered
Metal
parts
would
of
be
rocks.
needing to be hotter, but
You don't see any
Dirt, not so much.
any of the shininess of metal. There doesn't seem to be any metallic veins in here, at least not exposed.
Hang on.
you're gonna try melt.
Can I see whether I took a geology class?
roll a straight intelligence check again.
Please.
Ooh,
10.
10. You don't know. This is not something that you would have encountered as information in the past.
Yeah.
You have no idea whether or not a magical fire or some magical heat could melt rock.
So
Does acid melt rock?
if you've got enough of it, sure.
I think acid
it'll,
would melt
like-
anything given enough time.
I'm gonna cast chromatic orb. I'm gonna place it in the window, and it's gonna be acid, so it's just gonna go.
Okay. Roll damage on chromatic orb.
Oh boy.
Describe his wound.
Hold on, I'm getting to it. Oh,
Cocked a D8.
cocked a D8. It was the same number.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
9, 11.
Okay. So, where is chromatic orb, and what does it look like?
I'd say that'd be on my right hand, and
Yep.
it's like orb around my wrist area,
Mm-hmm.
and then whole bunch of different runes. So like fire, lightning, cold,
Yeah.
acid, light, poison, and thunder sigils light up. But the acid one is the one that's a little bit brighter.
Okay. So you begin to prep the spell.
Yep.
First thing that lights up, you see this circle of very, very small runes on his wrist, almost like a watch on his wrist, light up, along with there is a line connecting to another rune, a larger rune, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one.
Presumably his sleeve starts at some point, but yeah.
So you see this
like
first.
it's all glowing under
okay,
the
yeah.
arm
Yeah,
wraps and the sleeves.
under it's glowing through the clothes, and you can see this particular rune light up first. It's a very brief moment that you see this one, and it goes across in these kind of almost like technological lines across a constellation, almost lines across his both arms all the way down and some along his chest. You see the briefest moment of that, and then you see all of his runes light up once again. You cast Chromatic Orb.
Yeah.
You hold it in your hand for a second. It works fine. You place it in the rock, take a step back. It starts melting. That rune goes completely dark, and then the others fade slowly. The rock slowly starts to melt away, and then the acid seeps through, leaving a space probably just large enough for a human being.
Have you seen the time, by the way?
Yes, I have.
Alright. I will go through first.
Yeah, try and, I guess, not get the stuff on you, I suppose.
I will go through not touching any walls.
Okay.
Go through not touching the floor.
All right. So,
Big steps.
you say you were going through first?
Yeah.
You fit through without too much of an issue.
Cool.
Managed to crawl through. You get the briefest of moments where some of your acid kind of burns your skin. But
And I'm
you
like, hey, none of
keep
that,
going.
and spell the acid.
You keep moving. You eventually crawl through the other side. Not too much of an issue. Who's going second?
I'll go
I'm
through
gonna go.
second. Oh, what was that?
I'm gonna go through last.
Yeah, I'll go through second. So I'm probably the tightest fit.
Okay. Roll an acrobatics check.
15.
Okay. It's a very tight squeeze, but you manage to avoid that larger rock or putting much pressure on it, and you make your way through, and you do end up on the other side.
Yeah.
Sariel and Sulfur, just the two of you left.
So I'm going to very carefully explain to her about this big rock,
Yep.
and that if she starts to fall, try to push her body weight the other way,
Yep.
and then send her through.
Okay. Sulfur is quite a large wolf, but she's used to curling up in small spaces and moving around in dense undergrowth. And she does manage to make it through without too much of a problem. It's just you remaining on that side.
God, I don't remember how tall I am.
No,
I'm like 5 foot something.
I mean, we're not
You're all
planning
you
on-
are
I'm-
all crawling at this point.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
It's just like it's a tight squeeze between the top of my head and the ground.
My
So-
head is so big. Why
Roll-
did I make such comical character choices?
Roll an acrobatics check for me.
I'm glad you're choosing acrobatics because I'm slightly better at it.
Yeah.
21.
21.
Nice.
You clamber up onto the stone, duck down to begin crawling. The bow in the leather case on your back catches the top of it, and you're like, oh, okay. Grab that. You get it under the rock, and you start crawling through, and then you make it through without an issue, and you're all through on the other side.
Okay.
Continuing down the cave, you spend another half hour walking.
Yeah.
And then you see ahead of you colour as the torchlight enters what looks to be a cavern.
Okay.
You walk a little bit further and eventually to the entrance of this cavern, and as you emerge, the torchlight is cast around and you can see a cavern that is covered in all kinds of different colours of flora. there is moss, there is some even sorts of grass, there are herb-looking things, there are all kinds of things, and it's a huge array of colours from purples and blues to pinks and reds and yellows, all in this one cavern. Flowers, mosses, all kinds of stuff. You look around, you can see a number of different types of blue plants, but you get the feeling this is where the Sanomyzerium is.
Okay, so I'm gonna get Subtleford to sniff the herb bag.
Okay, she does. And now you're sending her off to have a look. Make a perception check with advantage
For me or for her?
for her.
While Sylph is sniffing around, I'll just be like picking random things.
Okay.
Just because, like, hey,
Yeah.
they're probably also useful to someone. And by
21.
someone, I mean Korma.
21. Okay. So, Sulfur sniffs around. She doesn't pick up anything immediately. The huge array of different smells from all of these plants is kind of overloading her senses a bit, but she starts sniffing around. You're looking as well
Yeah.
for something. So
Just like
make an
picking most-
investigation check.
Yeah, I'm just like, red flower, sweet.
Oh,
Just
Blue.
like, oh cool, leaf of Athelas. I'll get some of that.
and is there anything else you'd like to do to help?
Kingswood.
I'll just look for a flower matching the description.
Okay. So you start picking blue flowers. Make an investigation check for me as well.
9.
9. So for Isariel, you can also assist if you would like. You can make a survival check because you actually have a bit more background in that.
7.
7.
doing
You start
great.
I'm not
combing.
used to caves.
You start combing the cavern here for any sign of this herb. You're picking all kinds of things. You're looking around and you're like, oh, that looks interesting. I'll take that.
Yeah.
You're looking for specifically blue things, moving around, grabbing certain blue flowers.
Blue flower,
and-
red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns. Blue flower, red thorns.
You do notice as well, who's carrying the torch?
John.
You're still
Yeah,
carrying the
I'm
torch?
still carrying the
You do
torch.
notice as you get a little bit further towards the other side of the cavern, there is another cave in, but it looks like there would be another path continuing forward that way.
Yeah.
But it's completely blocked off. You can't see through to the other side in this one.
Yeah.
You'll search around. It takes you quite a while. In fact, it takes you a few hours, but you do end up managing through all of the different kinds of plants to find sulfur picks up a scent. And starts pawing at the ground. And Sariel, you notice this, you move over and you grab what she's nosing at, and it's another small blue herb. It's just got some blue leaves that radiate out. It's almost like a weed.
So if
radiates
we
out.
pick that one, can we use it to find the others?
Yeah. So looking at that, you kind of pull that out of the ground, and you take note of what exactly that one looks like, and you start to search the area, and you find a few more. And eventually you have a decent enough collection of them, and you begin to head back out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you do the skill challenge in reverse. So everyone, or like, you to roll a survival check, Sariel. I would like John to roll an athletics check, and I would like Archibald, you to roll an investigation check for me.
21.
Well, mine's 20.
12.
Dirty 20.
Letting
Okay.
down the team.
Okay. You make your way out in good time, and as you emerge from the cave, you can see the sun is just beginning to set opposite you.
How's the weather?
The weather is still raining
Okay.
quite heavily. And with that, we're going to end the session here.
Archibald takes a deep breath in and smells that umbra.
You pick up a little bit of umbra, you can feel it flowing through your veins
I
now.
am going to prepare to cast Magic Missile just to see my tattoo light up.
You do it, your other tattoos still all light up, and you just get this. You don't even see the glow, but
Come on.
you pull your sleeve back and you see just the faintest of glows there, as it seems to be recharging in some fashion. Grumble Access is still weak, but you do have it. You can feel it. But that's the end of the session.
It's okay, It's okay, Glenn. We all know who's really letting down the team.
Yeah, right, Sylkas. Where are you today?
That was fun.
Yeah.
I hope you
A
enjoyed.
very creative application of
You finally
Nice
got
balls.
your skill challenge.
I finally got my fucking skill challenge. I've been trying so hard to get you to do a skill challenge.
Yep.
took me a bit to figure out that you needed acid on that rock.
I hadn't, honestly, I'll let you in on a secret. I had thought about none of the solutions to any of these. I was just like, that's solvable. I'll let them come up with creative ideas. The idea was, the more creative and more believable it was, the more it lowered the DC.
Oh hell yeah!
I really liked that. That was really good. Yeah, you all did really well. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Thank
for
you
watching.
to everyone for watching. Exactly right. You can join us in Discord if you would like to interact with us between streams. You can head down to the panels below or the link in chat right now to enter that and to get the invite link. Also, feel free to follow us here on Twitch if you want more of this content. Head over to our Twitter at MaxOutOfficial if you would like to see when we are going live, which we also announce on the Discord. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. We will see you next week, Saturday at 7:30. Fuck, that just went straight out of my brain. 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Also remember the Banana Stream on Friday mornings. But I
And
think that's it.
hopefully we will have a turnout.
Yeah, everyone hopefully will be here next week.
Hopefully.
Fuckers.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be the day after my exams finished, so
Well, let's hope that you do well in the exams. Everyone wish Hannah luck in her exams, please, in
Yes.
chat. Till
not
next
that I can
time,
see it, but thank you.
take it easy.
Bye.
All right.
You all are